Okay, I am back with another video. This video, I will go through the working for Terengganu paper. Yeah, and this is the Addmaths paper. So this is the Addmaths paper, and it's the Terengganu 2024, and this is the paper 2. Okay, okay, let's start. So I will skip the formula. Okay, question number 1. Let's start. Diagram 1 shows the sector of OKL with center O where OK, KL, OL. So obviously this is a circular measure question, and they tell us the OK, KL, OL panjang semua sama. So if the side here same length, it means we can label like this: OK, KL, OL. That means this is an equilateral triangle lah. Because if all three sides sama panjang, then we call this a equilateral triangle, right? And if all the sides sini sama panjang, the angle here will also be same. And we all know what is the total angle inside triangle. The total angle will be 180, right? So when you divide 3, you will get 60, 60, 60 degrees, right? And also the length side here they give us is 12 square root 3. That means this is also 12 square root 3. This is also 12 square root 3, okay? But let's see what the question wants. So A, find in radians angle KOL in terms of pi. Well, this is easy because angle KOL you already know is 60 degree, but they want in radian, right? So you just times with pi over 180 because when you convert, that's how you convert to radian. You deduct pi over 180. Okay, but they say in terms of pi. So I will not press the pi. I will just press 60 over 180 and I will get 1 over 3. And then the pi just write it beside like this and then radian. Okay, sudah siap. When you write the pi in the middle means dia atas punya, atas punya. Or you want to write pi over 3 also can. Yeah, this one and this one is the same thing. Okay. Okay, let's do B. B says calculate the area of shaded region. Okay, if you look carefully at this shaded region, this region we call it a segment. Ataupun dalam bahasa Melayu, tembereng. Yeah, this is tembereng. So what is tembereng? Tembereng is this shape in between the arc and the chord. Okay, this line we call it chord, and this line we call it arc. And the space in between, that's what we call the segment. Okay, there is a formula we can use for area of segment. And the formula look like this: 1 over 2 r square bracket theta minus sine theta, right? But I want to tell you why the formula looks like this. Actually, the formula comes from taking area of sector minus area of triangle, right? Because if you think about it, if you want to find area of segment, which means the area of shaded region, what you are basically doing is you are finding the area of sector, which is the area of whole thing, and then minus with this triangle. Then you will get the remaining segment area, right? So the formula actually comes from taking area of sector minus area of triangle. Let me show you. Area of sector formula is 1 over 2 r squared theta, right? And then area of triangle, we can use the formula we learned in solution of triangle, which is 1 over 2 AB sine C, right? But in this case, your AB will be both radius, right? So instead of writing AB, I will just write 1 over 2 times radius, which is times radius square lah. And then for the C, it will be the included angle between the two radius, which is this angle right here. And do you know this angle will be theta also, right? It will be same with this angle right here. Because when you find the area of sector, you are using this angle also. So they are the same angle, but there is a difference. There is a difference. For this angle, you need to use radian. But for this angle, you need to use degree. The unit is different lah. Yeah, because when there is a sine cos tan in front, you need to convert to degree, right? And when you factorize out the 1 over 2 r square, you will left with theta minus sine theta. And you can see that this formula is the formula that I will use later, right? To find area of segment. Okay. Okay, I know some teachers they will teach using this method. Like they will say use this formula 1 over 2 r square theta. Can also lah, can. It's the same thing actually. This one and this one is the same thing. It will give you the same answer, right? Because this formula actually come from here. It's come from the same thing. But if you use the formula yang atas, you have to sub the r square dua kali lah, right? But if you use this one, then you just sub r one sekali saja, but you will get the same answer. So it's not a big issue, okay? All right, so I'll just put in now 1 over 2 r squared. The radius is given 12 square root 3. That's the radius of the sector. Theta minus sine theta. Okay, keep in mind this theta and this theta is the same angle. They are the same angle. It's just that they're different unit, right? So they are both 60 degree, okay? But for the theta, this theta, you have to put in degree. So pi over 3 lah, okay? And then for the theta here, you have to put in degrees, so 60 degrees. So now you can use your calculator. Okay, the pi, they never say use 3.142 or 22 over 7. So I'm just going to use 3.142. So let me press 3.142 divide 3 minus sine 60 equal dulu, and then answer times uh, 12 square root 3 square. Let me open bracket, square root 3 tutup bracket square, and then don't forget to divide 2. Okay. Okay, I will press everything in my calculator and I get 39.16. So you just write in 4 significant figure and then write cm square, right? And that's all. So that's it, right? Okay, number 2, 0.123, Oh, by the way, what do we call this type of decimal? When the decimal repeats like this, we call it a recurring decimal. Okay, recurring decimal. In bahasa Melayu, perpuluhan berulang. Okay, berulang sebab dia berulang, right? But there's many types of recurring decimal. Some decimal they repeat after 2 digit, some repeat after 1 digit, but this one repeats after 3 digit because it's like 1 2 3 and then baru dia repeat 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it repeats after 3 digits, right? And it will never stop. It will keep on repeating until infinite decimal place. It will just keep going. Okay, that's the thing about recurring decimal. It never stops. It just keeps going until infinite decimal place. All right. And also you need to know something about recurring decimal. You can always convert to fraction. Recurring decimal can always convert to fraction. And there's two methods to convert. Okay, let's see what the question wants. 0.1310 can be written in the form of this. So they want you to convert to fraction later, confirm. And they say using the sum to infinity method, calculate the value of h. Okay, there's two methods. One is by using the progression method. Okay, and the other one is by using the surd method. Okay, like when you learn it in cert how to convert recurring decimal to fraction, right? So this question they want us to use the sum infinity method. So I will show you the progression method lah. Because sum to infinity means they want you to use the progression method. So what I will do is I will write this 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I will write this into a question, right? So can you tell me 0.123 is actually what? 0.123 plus 0.000123 plus 0. How many zeros? 6 zeros this time, right? 1 2 3 because it repeats after 3 digit. That's why when you take this one plus this one plus this one and it keeps go, if you keep adding and you take the sum to infinity, you will get the recurring decimal. Okay, so what you are doing is you are finding sum to infinity, and this will be your first term, this is your second term, this is your third term, and you can see that all these terms form a geometric progression, right? So what is the a? The a will be 0.123, that's the first term, and the r will be this value divide with this, or you can take the t3 divide t2 can also, right? So if you press calculator, you will get 1 times 10 power negative 3, which is 0.001, right? Because every time you go to the next term, you divide 1 2 3, you divide 1000, right? So that's why the r is like 0.001. And now what you do is you are find the sum infinity, because this is what you are trying to get, right? So you are trying to find the sum to infinity of this progression, right? You're trying to add all the terms together until infinity, because this has infinite decimal place. So that's why you use s infinity lah. So the formula is 1 over a over 1 minus r. So the a is this 1 minus r. So this is how you do it, right? Hey, 001. Okay, so now you press calculator, and then your calculator will give you back this one. Okay, but you can convert to fraction later. So 1 minus 0.001 and then 0.123 divide answer. Okay, my calculator give me 41 over 333, right? So that's the answer lah. But the soalan asked you to find h, right? So you can compare your answer with this. So h over 333, you can see that the denominator 333 is already same with my answer punya denominator 333. That means the numerator h is 41 lah. Right, this is your answer. Okay, okay, there's another method to convert. Let me just explain quickly what's the other method. The other method is you have to let n equals to 0.1 to the recurring decimal lah. You let n equals to this, and then you take n times 1000 because it repeats after 3 digit. If it repeats after 2 digit, you times 100. Okay, if it repeats after 1 digit, you times 10. But this one times 1000 because repeats after 3 digit, and then you get 123.123, something like that. And then you take this equation minus this equation. And then after you minus, you will get 999 n equals to 123. And then your n will be 123 over 999. And then you press calculator, simplify, you will get the same answer. All right. But I don't want to go into details lah. I'll just explain briefly like this. Okay. But this one comes out also in exam. Yeah, I forget which trial paper I did, but they also asked to do using this method. Okay, so you need to know both lah. Okay, but I will just, for this question, if you do it like this, it's good enough. You'll get full mark, right? If you do it like this. Okay, I hope you understand. Let's continue. Okay, now for B question. So B, they says what? The diagram shows the spiral pattern of a snail shell. Okay, no information here. The arc length of each semicircle follows a geometric progression, with the diameter of the smallest semicircle being 6 mm and each subsequent diameter increasing by 50%. Okay, there is a lot of information here. So we need to unpack all these things here. Okay, first, the arc length of each semicircle. So let's talk about arc length and let's talk about semicircle. What's semicircle? Semicircle is half a circle, right? Half a circle. And we all know the half circle, the angle will be 180 degree. Okay, because one circle is 360, so half is 180, right? And then they say the arc length follows a geometric progression. So the arc length is this. Okay, this is what we call the arc length, right? What about this length? This length, we call it the diameter, right? And they mentioned something about diameter here. The diameter of the smaller semicircle being 6 mm. Okay, so the diameter here from here to here is 6 mm. In other words, the radius is 3 mm. Yeah, because radius is half the diameter, right? So yeah, the radius is 3 mm, right? And we can find the arc length actually, because the arc formula is r theta, right? Okay, or you want to use the 2 pi r formula also can, because when you find arc, if you use r theta, then you make sure the theta you use in radian lah. If you want to use this formula, the other formula to find arc is 2 pi r times angle over 360. But if you want to use this formula, then you will take the theta in degree, right? But both method will give you the same answer, so it doesn't matter. So I will, since I'm doing Addmaths, so I will just use the Addmaths formula, which is r theta, right? Okay, so the r has to be in the radius, which is 3, right? Okay, 3. And then for the theta will be the angle, but has to be in radian. And do you know what is 180 in radian? Pi, right? 3 pi. Okay, because 180 degree, when you convert to radian, how you convert? You times pi over 180, right? Cut, you left with pi radian. That's why here I write pi. But don't forget, this is in mm. And also don't forget, this is the arc length. Okay, the arc length of the smallest semicircle. And then they say each subsequent diameter increased by 50%. So I can form two progression here. One progression using diameter, and another progression I can form using the arc length, right? Yeah, they both have like different values, right? Okay, let's see what they want. Question one first. Form the first three terms of the arc length of semicircle. Okay, but I will form one using the diameter first. Okay, yeah, I'll form one using diameter first. So for the diameter, first diameter is 6 mm, 6 mm, right? But then they say here, you see, each subsequent diameter increased by 50%. That means you will take 6 mm times with 50%, and then you will get 3, and then you take the 3 plus with the 6, get 9, right? But it's very slow if you do it like this, right? You will get the answer, but you get it very slow. So let me do it fast. You straight away take 6 times with 150%, because if you want to increase 50%, it means you just direct 50% plus with the original value. So you straight away do like that. Because if you do like that, you get 9 straight away. So it's very fast. So I will just write the next value, it will be 9. And then to get the next value, you do the same thing. You take 9 times with 150% also. And you can use calculator. 9 times 1.5. My calculator give me 13.5. And these are all in millimeters. So you can see that this forms a geometric progression where the A is 6 and the R is 1.5. Because every time you times 1.5 times 1.5, like that, right? Okay, but that's not what the question wants. The question asks for arc length, right? Okay, for the first arc length, I already find it here. It's 3 pi. And how you get it is you take the radius of the first, which is 3. Okay, because the diameter for the first is 6, so the radius is 3 times with theta, but the theta has to be 180, so that's why it's 3 pi. Okay, the next arc length will be 9 divide 2, which is 4.5, right? You understand, right? Why I have to divide 2? Because the formula is like radius, right? And then times with angle, and the angle is still pi because it's still a semicircle. So it's still 180 degree, right? Okay, the next one is 13.5, divide 2 and then times 5. Okay, divide 2 because we want the radius, and then times pi because because the angle is 180 lah. So 6.75 pi. Okay, I'll just write 3 terms, no need to write so many. Okay, I can see the first term A is 3 pi. The R will be, okay, the R I don't know. Let's take 4.5 divide 3. Okay, the R is also 1.5. Yeah, it makes sense actually. Because if the diameter increase 50%, the arc length also increase 50%. Yeah, so it makes sense, huh? Okay, but the question one only asks you to form the first three terms of the arc length. So your question one answer is this, right? This one, right? So they only want you to form the first three terms, and that's all, right? And I will even write the A and R down, okay? Okay, so this is your first question answer. Okay, for the second question, I'm gonna do it over here. Okay, so let me erase this first. Okay, number two, let's see what they want. Number two, calculate the diameter of fifth semicircle. Okay, I will use the diameter progression lah. Don't use the arc length progression. Actually, use the arc length progression can also, but after you use the arc length progression, you need to use the r theta formula to find back the r and then times 2 to get the diameter, right? So can also, but I will not do like that. I will use the diameter progression and find the T5. Because if you want the diameter of fifth semicircle, you just use this progression and then just find the T5 lah, right? Okay, the formula for Tn is AR power n minus 1. So if your n is 5, then later it will be r power 5 minus 1, which is power 4. And then the AR is 6 times 1.5. So you just press calculator and then you will get your answer. Okay, let me press. My calculator give me 30.375. And please make sure you write the unit because this one is the diameter and is in millimeters, mm. Okay. Okay, I told you just now, right? There's another method to do this. You can also find the T5, the fifth arc length, but they want diameter. So you can, after you find the fifth arc length, you use the formula S equals R theta, and then the arc length you have already. The theta also you know already, and then you just find the radius, just divide lah. Take this one, divide this one. But then since they want diameter, then you have to times 2. Okay, and trust me, you'll get the same answer if you do like that, right? Okay, so uh I will just do it like this lah. Okay, let's do number 3 now. This is the last question. So let me scroll down a bit. Okay, and I'll do it. I'll do it over here lah. Okay, I'll do it here lah. Number 3. Okay, given that the sum of arc length of first n semicircle is this, find the value of n. Okay, this 62.34375 is actually the sum of first sum of arc length for the first n semicircle. So what do you think? This is the Sn lah. Yeah, this is the Sn. 62.34375 pi, right? And later we will use which progression? The diameter progression or the arc length progression? Of course, the arc length, because this one is the sum of the first n arc lengths of semicircle. So of course, when you use this progression, if you use this to find Sn, you are finding the sum of diameter, which is like not the same thing already. They want the sum of like arc length. So you need to use this progression and you will use the Sn formula, right? And they're asking you to find n, right? Okay, no problem. Let's write down the Sn formula first. The Sn formula is A1 minus R power n over 1 minus R, or it can also be R power n minus 1 over R minus 1. It means got two Sn formula. Okay, but which one you use, it depends on your R. If your R is smaller than 1, you use this one. If your R is bigger than 1, you use this one. In other words, if your R is bigger than 1, you minus 1. If R bigger than 1, you minus 1. So this one is if R bigger than 1. But if your R is smaller than 1, then you use this one. 1 minus, right? Okay, now your R is 1.5, so I will go with this one. Because my R is bigger than 1, right? So I should minus 1. So let's put in this formula here. It will be A, which is 3 pi, okay? And then R power n, which is, what's the R? 1.5. Power n, okay, the n, I don't know. I'm trying to find the n. So just write n minus 1 over R minus 1, 1.5 minus 1 equals to 62.34375 pi, right? Okay, 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. And then when you move over here, it becomes times, right? So it becomes 62.34375 pi times with 0.5. Because 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. And then the 3 pi times you can move over here becomes bahagi like this. And then you just left with 1.5 power n. And then the minus 1, you can move over, become plus 1. But you have to press this whole thing first. Yeah, you have to press this whole thing first. So I'll continue here. 1.5 power n equals, okay, I'll press this first. I'll press this bracket first, right? Okay, I will press 62.34375. 62.34375 times 0.5 divide 3. So my calculator give me 665 over 64. Okay, what happens to the pi? Okay, the pi actually can potong because everything here is like times, times, times. Semua hubungan dia darab. So the pi can cut. So you just left with this, but don't forget you have to plus 1 lagi again. So it'll be 1.5 power n equals to 665 over 64 plus 1. So let's press. Okay, 729 over 64. Okay. Okay, now how to find n? Okay, let me tell you, your n confirm tak will be an integer. What do I mean by integer? It means your n confirm cannot have decimal, cannot have fraction, because the n is like T1, T2, T3. So the n is the 1, 2, 3. Like there's no way your n would be like 1.5 or 2.3. That cannot have decimal one. So definitely this n is an integer. It's like a 1 or 2 or 3 number like that. It cannot have decimal one. That means the 1.5 and 729 or 64 confirm can change to same base, right? But what how to change? Okay, 1.5 you can change to fraction also, right? So it'd be what? 1.5 we all know is 3 over 2, right? So 3 over 2 is 1.5 and then 729 over 64. And now we think about okay, this is 3 over 2 power n. So this one is n, sorry. Okay, now we think about, we try to make the 729 or 64, we make it like, try to make it same base, right? We try to make it like 3 over 2 also. Okay. Okay, I want to ask you, 3 over 2 power berapa dapat 729 over 64? The answer is 6. If you press 3 power 6 in your calculator, it will give you 729. If you get 2 power 6, it will give you 664. It means your n is equal to 6. Okay. Okay. You can use your calculator to try. Okay. You can try to press 3 or 2 power 6. It will really give you this. All right. Okay. What if this number and this number cannot change to same base? For example, I change the 729 to 728. Just example only. If I change to 728, then you get stuck already, right? Because you cannot write power 6, because 3 power 6 will not give you 728, right? So you get stuck here. So what you should do? Okay, for this type of question, yang tak boleh tukar same base, you need to tambah log both sides. You need to tambah log base 10, log base 10, and then you use the calculator to press log this one, bahagi log this one. Okay, tapi itu kalau tak boleh tukar same base. Tapi kalau tukar same base, you shouldn't use the tambah log punya method. You should change to same base, right? But you can curi-curi check answer using the tambah log punya cara one. So for example, if some of you cannot straight away determine its power 6, right? Because not every student knows 3 power 6 is 729, right? Some students, they need to try using calculator. So you can try tekan log this one, bahagi log this one. And if they give you a nice answer, okay, if they give you an answer yang tak ada point, then you know that you cannot use the tambah log punya method, right? And I can try pressing now. If you tekan log base 10, 729 over 64, divide log 1.5. They will really give you 6, right? And that's how you know that they can change to same base. And that's also how you know you don't need to use the log linear method. The log linear method you only use when the answer is like ugly answer. It means like the answer is like point, and you cannot change the answer to fraction. So it's like, yeah, for question yang tak boleh tukar same base lah, right? But this one I know straight away can change to same base one, because the n represents number of terms. So definitely I that's why I know you don't need to use the log method lah. Okay, hope you understand my explanation. Let's continue. Okay, I will do number 3 here. So let's read. Given that the quadratic function fx equals to this, let's write it down. Negative 3x squared plus 8x plus 3. And then question A, by using completing the square method, find the minimum or maximum value of the quadratic function fx. Okay, this one is chapter 2 under quadratic function. And let's talk about completing the square, and also let's talk about minimum maximum value. So first thing first, when we do completing the square, we can change our function to vertex form. Vertex form looks like this: ax plus p squared plus q, right? And after you change to vertex form, you can determine your turning point, right? You can determine your turning point. So your turning point will be negative pq. It means this value right here will tell you the x coordinate, but you have to tukar tanda, you have to change sign, and then this value will give you the y coordinate. But is it maximum or minimum? Because turning point, it can be maximum, it can be minimum, right? So is it maximum or minimum? Okay, that one you look at the A. If the A is positive, then it's minimum, right? Because if A positive, then the shape is like this, like a happy face, right? But if the A is negative, then it's like this, then it's maximum, right? So in this case, you don't need to do completing the square. You already know this is maximum, because the A is negative 3. Okay, and trust me, even if later you do completing the square also, it will end up the A in front will be negative 3 also, because this A and the A in your general form is the same thing. So you already know it's not minimum, it will be maximum, right? But the question, did they ask you to find maximum point or maximum value? Maximum point, right? So let me tell you more details. When you get your turning point, negative PQ, this x coordinate will also tell you the axis of symmetry. Okay, Yes, because the x coordinate will be the, yeah, it will be the axis of symmetry, right? And why I mention this is because sometimes the question likes to ask axis of symmetry, right? Then what about the y coordinate? The y coordinate will give you the maximum value or the minimum value. Okay, so I repeat one more time. Maximum minimum point and maximum minimum value is not the same thing. If I say maximum minimum point, this is what I mean by that. The coordinate, x coordinate and y coordinate. If I ask you to write the minimum point or the maximum point, means the turning point lah. But if I only ask for the minimum value or the maximum value, I am only referring to the y coordinate. A lot of students don't know this. They thought maximum value means like they want to write the turning point. No, no. You only write the y coordinate. Because if they say value, nilai, means kita ambil y coordinate saja. Tapi kalau dia cakap titik, maximum point, titik, then it's like the whole coordinate lah, the x coordinate and the y coordinate, right? Okay, so now with that being said, I will start finding the maximum value, but you need to get your maximum point first. Okay, but your final answer will end up being just the y coordinate only. Okay, okay, now I will start doing completing the square. Okay, the way I teach my student is when we do completing the square, the a must be positive 1. And if it's not positive 1, you can't do completing the square. So now it's not positive 1. So what I will do is I will divide everything by negative 3. In other words, I factorize out the negative 3 lah. And when I factorize, I have to divide negative 3. So left with x squared. 8 divided negative 3 is just negative 8 over 3. 3 divided negative 3 is just negative 1. Right? And the negative 3, you have to write it beside like this. You don't tell me you erase that. Cannot. Unless it equals 0. If the other side is 0, then the negative 3, we can erase it off. Right? But the other side is fx now. So the negative 3 you have to write. Now you have to write negative 3 big bracket, negative 3 big bracket, negative 3 big bracket. Okay, the big bracket is very important. Okay, the big bracket is very important. Okay, very important. Okay, what's inside here now? X squared minus 8 over 3x minus 1. So now you can do completing the square, but you will do it separately with the negative 3, because the negative 3 is like you just leave it, just write it outside, right? So you're just looking at whatever inside here. So when you do completing the square, you have to write x squared minus 8 over 3x, and then here I'll write plus bracket square minus 1 minus bracket square, and then close the big bracket. This is how you do completing the square. It means you will tambah bracket square minus bracket square. The tambah bracket square I like to write here, and then the minus bracket square I like to write here, right? And when I write it, it will look like this. And what you have to put inside the bracket, you have to put in b over 2, right? And for the b, you have to refer beside here, the b, okay? The b means the value in front of x, which is negative 8 over 3. And since you have to over 2, but if you write like this, it looks very funny, right? So I will write different. I will write like this, times 1 over 2. So negative 8 over 3 times 1 over 2. Yeah lah, times 1 over 2 means divide 2 lah. It's the same thing, right? It's the same meaning. It's the same meaning. Okay, some of you will go and put b is 8. Cannot, cannot. When you look at the b over 2, you cannot take 8 over 2. No, no. The b have to always refer beside. Okay? Because you have to make sure the a is positive 1, baru you boleh ambil dia punya b. Okay? Alright, sampai sini, you will ignore this. Alright, this is how I teach my student. I always tell them like, don't look at this. Just focus on this and this. And can you see they both have square? So you can put bracket square like this. And then whatever inside, you just put it inside the bracket. So x, you write inside. And this one ignore. This one jangan tengok. For this one, you just calculate in your calculator. Negative 8 over 3 times 1 over 2. You will get negative 4 over 3. Right? And then the square, don't need to square because you already put it outside the bracket. And then sudah siap lah. And then minus 1 minus, okay, this one you have to square. Okay, negative 8 over 3 times 1 over 2, you know is negative 4 over 3. Square is positive 16 over 9. Okay, but walaupun this negative, when you square, it's become positive already, right? But there's still a minus outside the bracket. So that's why it's still minus here. Okay, now it becomes x minus 4 over 3. Okay, belakang boleh buat, right? Number dengan number boleh buat kan? So x minus 4 over 3 square. Okay, this one you just press calculator and you'll get negative 1 minus 16 over 9. How much is that? Negative 25, right? Yeah, negative 25 over 9. But this is still not your vertex form yet. Do you remember I told you the big bracket very important? Yeah, because after you do all the completed square, you have to take the number in front and then expand inside this bracket. That is why the big bracket is very important. So when you expand, when you kembang, when you darat masuk, it becomes negative 3, and you don't have to write the big bracket now anymore because you already expand it. You already open the bracket. So it becomes x minus 4 over 3 square, and then the negative 3 you multiply with the negative 24, 5 over 9, you become positive 3 times 25, 75, 75 over 9, which is 25 over 3. Like this. So this is the vertex form. Saya sudah berjaya tukar jadi vertex form. So this already looks like this. right? Which is the form I want lah. You can see the A is -3, the P is -4/3, the Q is 25/3. So this is exactly what I want, the vertex form. But the soalan never ask you to stop here. They ask you to find the maximum value. I already explained why is it not minimum, because the shape is like a set face, right? So what we do now is let's write down the turning point first. Okay, let's write down the turning point first. Okay. Okay, so let me make this smaller. Okay, okay. All right. So after we change to vertex form, we can write down our turning point coordinate. So what's the turning point coordinate? Remember, this will tell you the x coordinate, but you have to change sign. Tukar tanda. So it becomes +4/3. Negative becomes positive. And the y coordinate, no need to tukar tanda. The y coordinate just just ambil keluar saja. All right. So this is the turning point. But is it a minimum or maximum point? It's a maximum point because the a is negative. So the shape looks like this. So maximum. Okay. Okay. Now we can write what the soalan wants. The soalan wants maximum value. So I told you already, maximum value only referring to the y coordinate. So the answer is 25/3. Okay, so this is what the question asked for, right? Okay, 3 marks for this. Okay, no problem. Okay, now we can do B. Okay, so B, it says sketch the graph of this thing for -1, 4. You can look at this equation. It's the same with the A equation, right? This one is the same with this, right? It's the same thing, right? So we can take advantage because we already have the turning point here, maximum point, right? And do you know, when you sketch a quadratic, you should always find out the turning point. Yeah, so it's good that we already do it here. So later we don't have to do it already because we already know the turning point and we need the turning point when we sketch. Okay, and then they got say for -1 until 4, state and then state the range of fx when the graph is reflected about the x-axis. Okay, I'll do it down here. So for sketch question, you don't need to follow the scala one. Like sketch is like just sketch only. Okay, so first I'll draw a table because you need to find some points. If you don't have points, how you supposed to plot the graph, how you supposed to draw, how you supposed to sketch, right? So let's find some points. And I will find out all the important points, right? What do I mean by important points? Okay, let's write down here, this is x, this is y, or you want to write fx also can, same thing. Okay, so the important points will be, okay, do you remember they got give us a range here, right? The domain. So they want it to be -1, 4. It means they want to restrict. They want to restrict your graph. They want it to be the paling kiri punya point, x coordinate should be -1, and then the paling kanan punya point 4. That's what it means by this. It means they want the first point to be okay, they want the x coordinate of the first point to be -1, and they want the x coordinate for the last point to be 4. That's why you have to find out the starting point and the ending point later. So -1 x, you have to find out what is the first point later, and then the middle two later I'll tell you what, and then this one is 4, right? Okay, what about this middle 2 point? This one you will use it to find the x-intercept and y-intercept. Yes, memang when you sketch doesn't matter you sketch a quadratic or like a modulus graph or like whatever graph you're trying to sketch, you will always need to find the important points, and x-intercept, y-intercept will always be the important points, right? So you need to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, right? So how to find? Ganti x kosong, y kosong. Okay, like this. And if you're doing quadratic, you should find the turning point also. But you don't have to do it already. You find it already just now. So it's 4/3, 25/3. So the last column is for the turning point, 25/3, like this, right? Okay, this is enough for you to sketch. So I repeat one more time, what you have to find in order to sketch the quadratic: starting point, the first point, and then the last point, and then the x-intercept and the y-intercept, and then the turning point. And you can find in any order you want. It doesn't have to be like exact this order because it doesn't matter lah. You want to put the 4 here, like it doesn't matter as long as you need to find all these points. Then as long as you find all these points, then it's good enough, right? You can find in any order you want. Okay, now it's time to find out all these points, right? And let's start by this. Okay, so the equation given is what? Y equals -3x² plus 8x plus 3. Okay, so remember, fx and y is the same thing. Okay, for the x, I will sub -1, right? So if I sub -1 and I will press calculator, and then my calculator will give me the answer lah. So just press this whole thing. Okay, if you press, you'll get -8. So that's the answer, right? So -8 here. Okay, now it's time to sub 0. Okay, sub 0 is very easy because this one becomes 0, this one becomes 0, so it's just left with 3, right? So just write 3 here. Okay, this one I will do it later. Let's do this one first. Sub x equals 4. So imagine you sub 4 here and then press all this. What the calculator give you? -13. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you. Negative 13. Okay, now the last part is this one. Okay, this one you sub y 0. It means the y becomes 0, but then this x you are trying to find, right? So how you do this is you should use calculator to solve it, right? And how I do it is I will make it positive first, because whenever I teach my student, I say like kalau depan negative, you should make it positive. And how to do it? This pindah everything to the other side. So 3x squared minus 8x minus 3 equals 0. Or you can also say like tukar tanda for everyone lah, right? Okay, now I press calculator and I will get my x-intercept. Okay, the a is 3, b is negative 8, c is negative 3. Okay, my calculator give me 3 and negative 1 over 3. So these are the two roots, or you can say the two x-intercept. Okay, so we have two different roots. Okay, and this one I will erase lah, because this is not that important actually. What's important is the table. Okay, I will not show the working. Okay, okay, now we can start to sketch, right? So let me erase this also. Okay, so how I will sketch is first I will look at all the value, all the value. Okay, so let me erase this. Okay, now I will use ruler to draw the axis. Okay, when I draw my y-axis, I will look at the x value. Okay, and if I look at the x value, the smallest value here is negative 1, and then the highest value is 4. Okay, 4. So I think my y-axis has to be slightly to the left. Like, yeah, slightly left. Because later here I have to use until negative 1, here I have to use until 4, right? Okay, so when you draw y-axis, look at the x value. And then now what's the highest y value you need? Okay, the biggest y value will be 25 over 3. And let's press calculator. What's 25 over 3? So in decimal, it's 8.33333. So it's like 8 point something, right? So that's the highest one, lah, 8.33. And then the smallest is negative 13. So let's make this the 25 over 3. Remember, this is a sketch question. So it doesn't have to follow the scale, right? So, but make it like, try to make it make sense, lah. Okay. So if your 8 is here, so later you have to go until negative 13, right? So what I will do is I will, okay, that you need another point for 3, right? So 8, so let's 8.33, so let's say this one is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You don't have to measure, just like lebih kurang ni. And then 2, 1, 0, something like this, lah. Okay. And then for the negative 8, negative 13, how? Okay, I think I cannot put so down because not enough space. So I don't want my graph to be too big, so I will just put it here. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then 2, 1, 0. And then negative 1, negative 8, right? So negative 8. So the distance here lebih kurang like here. So negative 8. Okay. You don't have to measure exactly, but try to make it like make the distance make sense lah. Otherwise later your graph will be not balanced, right? Okay, for negative 13, I need to panjangkan. So negative 8. So like 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, okay lah, lebih kurang saja. Because it's a sketch question, right? You don't need graph paper, right? That's why you don't have to measure exactly. And this one is 3, yeah. Okay. Okay, now for my x-axis, there will be negative 1. So this side no need to be so panjang, but the right side have to be panjang. Okay, so like this. And then this one I'll just write x here. Okay, the negative 1 is just here, right? Okay, so negative 1. And then for the other part, positive, I have to go until 4. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But later you need 3 also. So 3, I should put it. And you also did what else? Negative 1 over 3. Okay, negative 1 over 3 is very easy. You just potong this section into 3 parts. And then negative 1 over 3 will be the first section lah. Okay, let me erase the 0. The 0, I'll just write it here. So the negative 1 over 3 is this. Okay, it's this line right here. Okay, and then what else we need? Negative 1, 0, 3, negative 1, 3, 4. Okay, 4 over 3. So this one is 1, this one is 2, right? Where is 4 over 3? 4 over 3 is just 1. Okay, and then you also potong like 2 lines here. But try to make sure the distance is like lebih kurang sama lah. Okay, so if 1, we can say is 3 over 3, right? So this is definitely 4 over 3. This one is 5 over 3. This one is 6 over 3. That's why 6 divided 3 is 2, right? Okay, but you don't have to label everything. Just label the 403 is good enough. So later the 403, I'll take this, right? This one. Okay. Okay, now it's time to plot negative 1, negative 8. Okay, no problem. This is the first point. This 0, 3, this is the y-intercept. Yeah, that's why it's on the y-axis, right? Okay, the x-intercept is 3, 0. Yeah, makes sense, right? Because x-intercept ma. So on the x-axis, negative 1030 is this one, right? And then the last point is 4, negative 13, right? And the point that I recommend you to find the turning point, you need to find this because this is a quadratic. Quadratic memang kena cari the turning point. 4 over 3 here, 25 over 3 is up here, right? Okay, done. So now you just join all these points, then you will get your curve. You will get your quadratic curve. Okay, so let's try to join. Cannot use ruler. So it look like this. So this is the maximum point. This is where it goes down. Okay, if you're not nice, then you draw again lah. So like this, go. Oh, okay. I'll just go from here. Okay. Okay. Let me draw nicely. Let me draw again. So should look something like this. Okay lah, good enough lah. Okay, maybe this side. Okay. So try to make sure it touches all the points lah. Okay. And when you erase, try to erase nicely. Okay. Okay lah, good enough. Okay. Just make sure you use freehand and like draw it nice. Okay. Now I can write the equation. Fx equals to negative 3x squared plus 8x plus 3, and that's all. That's how you sketch. Okay, now for the next part, state the range of value of fx when the graph is reflected about x-axis. Okay, when it reflect, this point will become, the graph will look something like this. Like this, like this, like this. Yeah, the red color part, right? The red color part. But they want to state the range of fx, right? When after reflect the x-axis, okay, I will write down the range of fx before reflect first. So before reflect, what is the range of fx? Okay, the range of fx will be, you will look at the highest point and the lowest point. If you want the range of x, you look at the paling kiri, okay, the paling kiri punya point and paling kanan punya point. But if they want the range of fx, you look at paling atas and paling bawah. Yeah, like paling atas, paling bawah. And you will look at the y coordinate. So it will be 25 over 3 and then negative 13, right? But this one is before reflect. So before reflect is like negative 13, 25 over 3, right? The small value you have to put in front. Okay, memang macam tu kan. Okay, but this is not your answer because they want after reflect, right? So after reflect, the range is no longer same already because you reflect already, right? So let me ask you, when you reflect this point, what happens here? The distance should be same with the distance here, right? That's how it works, reflection. So the graph will look like this. It will go down like this, right? And then go up, right? Okay, that means the range will be paling atas sini sampai paling bawah sini, right? But how can I know the y coordinate here and the y coordinate here? Okay, very easy. This y coordinate will be the same with the y coordinate here. So did you realize the distance here to here is 13 unit? So when you reflect up, it will be 13 unit also. But it's not negative 13 anymore. It's positive 13. So this is positive 13, right? And then that's the highest point lah. That's the highest point. What about the lowest point? Well, the lowest point, if you want to know the distance here, you refer the distance here. The distance here is 25 over 3 unit. So when you reflect, the distance will be same one here, 25 over 3. But it's negative lah. It's negative 25 over 3. So in other words, what's your paling kecil punya value? I mean like paling bawah punya y coordinate will be negative 25 over 3. So later here you write negative 25 over 3. And then the other one you write positive 13. Right? Okay, but I will erase all these things because you shouldn't uh okay. So later your here will be negative 25 over 3 and this one will be positive 13. Okay? Understand, because when you reflect x-axis, the lowest point becomes this point becomes here already. But the y coordinate will not be 25 over 3, it will be negative 25 over 3 because of when you reflect the distance same, right? And then the highest point also change. The highest point will be this point reflect up. That's why the y coordinate is positive 13, right? That's why the range looks like this. Okay, I hope my explanation makes sense to you and like you understand lah. Okay, okay, done already. This is how I will do it. Okay, so that's it. Oh, and by the way, this one you should erase this. This is not the answer. I just trying to explain to you just now. This is the correct answer. Okay, okay, so that's it. Okay, number 4. This looks like a coordinate geometry question. So let's read. Diagram 4 shows the locus. Yeah, definitely coordinate geometry because locus, right? So locus, you will either get circle or line, right? Yeah, it's either you get a circle or a straight line. Okay, locus for two moving point A, point B. So let's see, point A is a moving point. So we can assume it moves this straight line lah. Okay, and then B is like on the circle, the side of the circle, or like on the circumference of the circle. Okay, PQ is diameter of circle center at S. So PQ diameter this one. So S is the center lah, right? S is definitely the center, right? And do you know when you are finding equation of circle, you need the center coordinate. If you don't have, it's impossible. Because when you try to find equation of circle, you need two things. Yeah, you need two information. First is the center coordinate. The center coordinate. The other thing you need is the radius. If you don't have these two information, you cannot find the equation of circle, right? And I think now I don't have both. Yeah. So it's very hard for me to find locus B now. But it's okay. Let's keep reading. Point A moves. Okay, A is this one. Moves such that it is always equidistant from P and Q. Okay, this is point P, this is point Q, and point A move is always equidistant from PQ. It means it will move along this line. And the distance is always same here. All right. And let me tell you, if the okay, this line that is always equidistant from PQ, we call this the perpendicular bisector. Yes, okay. So this line I will label here, we call it perpendicular bisector. Dalam bahasa Melayu, pembahagi dua sama serenjang. Sebab dia bahagi PQ and jarak dia selalu sama and dia bahagi serenjang. So it will be 90 degree. Okay? Yeah, perpendicular bisector. And it will passes through point S. They already show you here. And let me tell you, this point S will be the midpoint because the distance is always same here, right? So if the distance same means the ratio is always 1, 1, that means that S will be the midpoint, right? So it means we can find point S now, right? Okay, I'll just find it now. I don't even care whether I haven't done reading the question yet, but I don't care. Because when I see something that I can find, I will just find it straight away. Okay, walaupun maybe the soalan never still haven't asked me yet, I just find it lah, just find it. Okay, because we already know point S is the midpoint, so x plus x divided 2, y plus y divided 2, so 4 plus 6, and then -9 plus -1 minus 1. So you get 5 here, you get -5 here. So this one is 5, -5, right? Okay, but let's see what else they says. Point B, xy, okay, B is like this one, move such that the triangle PBQ is always having a right angle at B. It means point B will move along this circle and it will always form a right angle at B. Wait, how do you say it? Triangle PBQ always, yeah lah. So this one is the diameter, so it will move along here. Let's say it move until here, and then you tarik a line like this. The triangle is still 90 degree. If you move until here, it's still 90. 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 And this is true because you learn in maths. Do you remember you learn in maths? Form 2 or form 3, I don't remember. But you learn in lower form, like the angle of circle, right? Like if you have a diameter, doesn't matter. If you tarik two lines to the side, it will always be 90 degree. It doesn't matter where you tarik, it will always be 91. As long as you tarik to the side, it will always be 90. Okay, this one you learn in mathematics. Okay. Okay, so far this is all I have, and I labeled everything nicely. Okay, now let's see what the 1A here. Find the equation of locus of point B. It means they want the equation of circle lah. So I don't think I'll be using, wait, I'll be using this also because this is the center of circle, right? And then they say if the line of PB is perpendicular to line BG, where is it? PB is also B. I think this one is BQ. They see that BQ because in the Bahasa Melayu they write BQ, so the English should be BQ also. So this one is 90 degree. Okay, so there's two method. Yeah, there's two method to find the equation of circle. Yeah lah, they want equation of locus B and B is a circle lah. So there's two method. First method is you will use the distance formula. Okay, you use the distance formula because you have the center and the radius, right? The radius don't have, but you can find it lah. Okay, so the first method is you find out the radius and the center first. Center sudah ada, but radius tak ada. But the radius you can find by using distance formula here. And then after you get the distance, right, you will get square root 17 for the distance, right? And then you will use the distance formula one more time to find the locus B. And what you do is you find the distance of BS equals to square root 17. Okay, that's the first method. Okay, second method is you will use the gradient formula, the gradient method, because they mentioned something about perpendicular. So you can find the gradient of this line times the gradient of this line equals to -1. All right. Okay, I'll just show you both method lah. Okay, I'll just show you both method. Okay, I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be lazy here. I want to just make you understand. So I will just show you both method to prove to you that it will give you same answer. So first method is just by using the distance formula, right? But in order to find equation of circle, you need the radius, right? So the first method is find the radius, right? So I'll just write radius here. But do you know the radius will be the distance of PS? Agree, right? Because this one is radius, right? You can also find the distance of SQ can also. Okay, the one also radius. Okay, there's formula for distance, square root bracket square plus bracket square. Okay, I'll use PS distance. The formula x minus x, y minus y. So 6 minus 5, y minus y, which is -1 minus -5, -1 plus 5. And you end up with square root 6 minus 5, 1, 1 square 1 plus -1 plus 5, 4 square 16. So the distance of PS ataupun the radius is square root 17, right? So this is the fixed distance of BS. Yeah, because B is the moving point move along the circle and S is the center. That means the distance of BS, it should always be maintained at square root 17 units. And now you can use again the square root formula, I mean the distance formula to find the equation of circle, right? But this time, your point B will be xy, and it's fine, right? That's how you find equation of circle, right? So it'll be x minus x, which is x minus 5, and then y minus the -5 or y plus 5. So now you understand why you need these two information before finding the circle. If you don't have these two, you cannot find the equation of circle, right? Okay, so now I will square both sides because I want to get rid of the square root. So when I square both sides, the square root will hilang. Yeah, the square root disappears. Now it's just left with x minus 5 square, and you can expand this x square, and then x times -5 times 2, -10x, -5 square plus 25. This is how you expand. And then plus y plus 5 square, which is y square, and then y times 5 times 2, 10y, and then 5 square, 25. And then the other side is square root 17 square, which is just 17, because the square root and square cut already. Okay, now you can arrange the whole thing, but you will write x square first, and then next you will write y square. Next you will write x, so -10x. Next you will write y, which is 10y. And then the last thing you have to write is the value and then equals 0, right? So the value is 25 plus 25, but the 17 you have to move it here, become -17. Okay, what is 25 plus 25 minus 17? Positive 34. So this is your answer. Okay, this is the equation of circle. Okay, plus 34 equal 0. Hey, wait, is it correct? 50 minus 17? No. No, 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 it's not 34, it's 33. Sorry, careless mistake. So it's 33. Yeah, because 50 minus 17, 33, right? Okay, this is one of the method to do it, but just now I mentioned there is another method, right? Okay, actually the other method is lagi cepat one. You will use the gradient formula. Okay, gradient formula. Why we can do that is because they got mentioned the angle is always 90 degree, right? Yeah, the angle is always 90 degree at B. Doesn't matter where you move, the gradient of PB and BQ will always be 90 degree. Doesn't matter where the location is B, as long as it's around the circle, the triangle PBQ will always be 90 degree at B, right? So that means the gradient of PB times with gradient of BQ will always be -1. Doesn't matter where is the point B, doesn't matter where is the point B in the circle, in the side of the circle lah, right? Understand, right? So yeah, these two lines must always be perpendicular. That's why you can use the formula m1 times m2 -1. Okay, this one I masuk gradient formula, this one I masuk gradient formula -1. Okay, PB gradient, how to find gradient? The formula for gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y minus -1, y plus 1, x minus x, x minus 6. Okay, done. And then the other one, BQ, how to find gradient? Y minus y, so y minus -9, y plus 9, x minus x, x minus 4. Okay, okay, sampai sini, I will take atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah. So it becomes y plus 1 times y minus plus 9, it becomes y square, and then y times 9 is 9y, 1 times y is 1y, and then 1 times 9 is 9. This is how you darab, like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, yang bawah I will also expand. So it becomes x times x, x square, x times -4, -4x, -6 and -6x, positive 24 equals -1. And then now I will move this whole thing atas, right? And when I move atas, I have to times with -1, right? So it becomes y squared plus, okay, 9y plus 1y is 10y plus 9 equals, okay, when you move the x squared times -1, it becomes -x squared. And then the -4x minus 6x is -10x. But when you times -1, you get positive 10x. And then the 24 times negative 24. Now the only thing left to do is arrange everything on one side and then equals 0. But I will move everything to the right side because okay, actually you want to move left side also can. Actually it's better to move to left side. Yeah, because then only your x square will be positive, right? So yeah, everything on left side is better. So the negative x square kena tulis dulu lah. They want to have to write first, and then followed by y square. But the y square is already here, so you don't have to move. Next is the 10x, but it's on the other side, so you have to move here, become minus 10x, and then plus 10y, just tulis. And then the last thing is the number, which is 9 plus 24, and you get 33, right? And do you realize this answer is the same with this answer? It looks exactly the same, right? So nak buat cara macam ni pun tak boleh, nak buat cara ni pun boleh. Okay, but which one is easier? Of course this one lah. Yeah, of course the gradient, right? Because this one you have to do distance formula dua kali baru dapat, right? But if you use gradient, you can get it directly, right? And yeah, it's faster and it's also like it's better lah, right? It's better. Okay, but if you do it like this, can also, yeah, same answer. Okay, hope you understand. Now I wanna continue. Okay, when I do B, I will write my working here. Okay, given the locus of point A is this. Oh, they straight away give me I thought they will ask me to find one. Okay, if they have asked me to find locus A I have to find the equation of perpendicular bisector, right? And there is also two methods to do this. First is by using the distance formula. You will do distance of PA equals to distance of AQ. And then you use the distance formula on both sides. It means you buka square root on both sides, right? And another formula to find equation of perpendicular bisector is use formula y minus y1 equals gradient x minus x1. Because this is a straight line, so you can use this formula. And then for the gradient, you will find gradient of PQ first, and then you take -1, divide answer, because you want to get the gradient of perpendicular bisector. Okay, and then for the x1 y1 you take the midpoint. Yeah, you take the midpoint, which is 5 -5, right? But you don't have to do all that because they already give you for free. The equation for perpendicular bisector is this. They give you already. Okay, x plus 4y plus 15 equals 0. They say locus of A, this one, find the coordinate of point R and point T, which is intersection points of both locus or both loci. Loci means locus. So they want to find R and T is actually the intersection of both locus. So let's find out where's R and T. So R is here, T is here, and yeah, R and T is really the intersection of the perpendicular bisector and the circle. You can see, right? This circle and the line, where they intersect at this point and this point. So how do we find the intersection? You do simultaneous lah. You do simultaneous. That's how you find intersection point. You take the equation of both locus and then do simultaneous. So what is the equation of circle? This one. What is the equation of straight line? This one. So when we do simultaneous, you just substitute this whole like you can do substitution method or elimination method. I will do substitution. So first I will try to make the x single, jadikan x single. So -4y minus 15, and I'll call this equation 1. And which one is my equation 2? The other equation lah, the x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 10y plus 33 equals 0. All right. Okay, the reason why I never find x single from this equation is because it's harder. Because this equation is a non-linear. It's like other square square. So it's very hard to jadikan x single, y single from here. Right? But from here it's very easy because it's a linear equation, right? Just pindah saja. So it's better to do it like this. Now I will just sub 1 into 2. That means I will ganti 1 dalam 2 lah. So when I look at equation 2, my x later have to ganti with x square plus y square. I'm looking at here. And then minus 10 bracket x plus 10y plus 33 equals 0. Okay, for the x bracket, I have to ganti, I have to replace with -4y minus 15, -4y minus 15 like this. And now I can get my y answer. Okay, how to expand this? First, you take -4y square and you get positive 16y square. Next, you have to take -4y times -15 times 2. -4 times -15 is positive. 15 times 4, 60 times 2, 120y. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you. Okay, and then the last step is take -15 square, which is positive 225. And then plus y square, just tulis saja. Okay, this one bracket dia tak ada power. So kalau tak ada power, boleh terus expand. -10 times -4, positive 40y. -10 times -15, positive 150. And then plus 10y plus 33 equals 0. Now I will continue here. Okay, now you can see that your equation have square. You're trying to find y now. And if your y have square, and you're trying to find y, it means this is a quadratic equation, and you need to susun dalam general form. Means I have to susun everything on one side equals 0, and then press calculator. Okay. Okay, so the 16y square and 1y square boleh buat. Y square dengan y square boleh buat. Y dengan y boleh buat. Number dengan number boleh buat. So 16y square plus y square is 17y square. And then the next thing I have to look at y. So 120y plus 40y plus 10y. Use calculator. 120 plus 40, 160 plus 10, 170. So plus 170y. And then the last thing is the number 225 plus 150 plus 33. You can use calculator. You will get 225 plus 150 plus 33. Okay, 408. Yep. So you will get positive 408. Okay, now it's time to factorize this equation and you will get two answers. But before you factorize, I always tell my student, check these two things first. Kalau boleh, kalau depan negative, try to tukar tanda for everyone. And then one more thing is kalau boleh kecilkan, kecilkan. So this one, depan sudah positive, so no problem. But this one can kecilkan. All these numbers can divide 17. So bahagi 17, dapat 1, bahagi 17, you get 10y. 408 bahagi 17, what you get? Okay, wait, let me press calculator. Okay, I will get 24. So yeah, so now only you will press calculator. The A you press 1, the B you press 10, the C you press 24. So you wait for me. Let me press now. A is 1, right? And then B is 10, C is 24. Okay, my calculator give me -4 and -6. So that is my Y lah. And then don't forget to kosong satu baris because you have to write bracket here. And then you have to reverse the sign. So -4 jadi +4, -6 +6 because you have to pindah balik kan. Okay, Y got two answer? Tell me, why got two answer? Why the Y got two answer? Okay, because Y got two intersection point lah. Yeah, because when you do simultaneous, you are finding intersection point. And if you get two Y answer means, it means there's two intersection point. That's why got two Y coordinate. That's why got two different Y coordinate. That's why, because got two intersection point. But when you're finding point, you need the X coordinate also. So you need to sub this inside the first equation to get the X coordinate. So X equals -4Y minus 15. And then sub again, X equals -4Y minus 15. The X here is, the Y here is -4, the Y is -6. Okay, press calculator, you get 1. Press calculator, you get 9. I think. Yeah. So now you have your 2 points, right? Okay, but I need more space. So let me adjust this. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so what is the intersection point here? This one is 1, -4. The other one is 9, -6, right? But which one is point R? Which one is point T? Okay, refer the diagram lah. So refer the diagram. So let me erase here. Okay, so which one is point R, point T? So you can see that point T, the X coordinate should be smaller, but point R, the X coordinate will be bigger because it's further away from the 0. So point R will give you a bigger X coordinate. So point T need to have smaller X coordinate. So which one is smaller X coordinate? This one, right? 1 ma. This one is 9. So this one will be the 1, -4 will be point T, right? And then this one is point R. And then comma here and then put dot dot dot. Okay, okay. So this is the answer. Okay. Alright, sudah habis. Sudah siap. Okay, let's keep going with number 5. Okay, 5A, diagram 5 shows graph of this for 0 until pi. Okay, definitely this is a trigonometry question. And it's a graph question. Yeah, they ask graph. Okay, they give you the equation, but it's not very complete. It's like A sine bx plus 1 over 2. Okay, we need to know the A will affect your maximum and minimum value. The B will affect the period. Period means like time taken to reach one cycle, to complete one cycle. And then the 1 over 2, the number here will affect the translation. Yeah, it will affect the translation. Like if the positive, then you have to move the graph, have to move up, right? If go down means move down. Okay. Okay, so this one is 0 until pi, right? Oh, they only draw until pi only. It means pi is 180. So if you draw until 360, it will not look like this, right? It still have to panjangkan, right? Okay, but it's okay. Let's see what they want here. State number 1, the value of A and B. Okay, first I can find my A easily. I can find my A easily because there is a formula to find amplitude like A. So the formula is you take the maximum value minus the minimum value divide 2. Okay, that's how you do it, right? A lot of students, they will make mistake. Sometimes I see student, the A, they put 2.5. Or maybe some of them, they put 1.5. Wrong, wrong. You can only do like that when this value and this value same. When the distance here and distance here same, then baru boleh. For example, if it's like 2, -2, then the amplitude is 2 lah. Okay, or maybe 3, -3, then the amplitude is 3. But if it's like the distance is not same, like for example, this one you see 2.5, 1.5, then it's not same, then it's not, it's the amplitude you cannot terus ambil macam tu lah. And let me tell you why, the reason why they are not same is because of the plus 102. It's because the whole graph moved up 0.5 unit. That is why now the maximum and minimum value distance here, here to here, here to here, distance is not same already, because the whole graph moved up. So use this formula. Maximum value is 2.5 minus bracket negative 1.5 and then divide 2. And you will get 2 here. It means the amplitude is 2. Okay, another way to explain is, you can, because this graph already moved up 0.5, means this is 0.5 lah. So what you can do is you can reverse the process. You turun balik jadi, apa? You how to say, because the whole graph moved up already. So you try to turun balik, you had try to minus 0.5, right? So it's like you get 2 here, and then here you get 0, here you get negative 2. Okay. So try to, then you can see the amplitude is really 2, right? But this method is like can also lah, but I lebih suka guna formula. Yeah, I prefer using the formula. So just memorize this formula and you can find the amplitude in all the questions, right? So the formula is maximum value minus minimum value divide 2. Okay, now they also ask us to find B. Okay, B is like affecting the period, but you need to know B is like the number of cycle in 360, right? But this question is very hard to determine the B because they only draw until 180, and it's very hard to imagine by the time you reach 360, like how many cycles, right? It's very hard to imagine, right? It's very hard to imagine. So instead of looking at the graph, I will use the algebra formula to solve it. Okay, I will use the algebraic formula to, I mean, it's like I will find the B by not looking at the graph, but instead by using another method. So what's the other method? Ganti masuk punya cara. It means I will sub x and y inside, because you have the A already. So it becomes 2 sine bx plus 1 over 2, right? And you are trying to find B. So do you agree? If you want to find B, you just need x and y. Because if you have x and y, then you can find your B lah, right? But the xy you have to substitute with what? Of course, you have to start with a point that passes through the sine graph, right? You cannot just simply masuk like, oh sir, masuk this point 0, 2.5. Cannot. You have to make sure the point got passes through, right? You have to choose a point that the sine graph got passes through. So which point you can choose? Okay, this point 0, 0.5, this one got passes through. But I don't recommend use this point, because if you use this point, your x would be 0. And then later 0 times b, later your b will be 0, then your b disappear. Then you can't find your b already. So don't use this point. So what's another point that I can use? Okay, this point is not good because you don't have the x coordinate. You need to have both x and y. So don't use this. Here also don't have the x coordinate. Okay, this one maybe. This one is pi negative 1.5. Yeah, this is the point that you should use to sub inside the x and y. Okay, when you sub the y, you will write negative 1.5. When you sub the x, you will sub pi, but wait, if you have sign in front, you should always convert to degree. And this pi is in radian, and I told you already pi is 180, so you should put 180 and then plus 1 over 2. Okay, now I will leave the 2 sign here. 180 times b is just 180b. And then the 1 over 2, I will move to the other side. So it becomes negative 1.5 minus 0.5. 1 over 2 is 0.5. So it's negative 2. And then divide by 2 is negative 1. And then here is sine 180b. Okay, if sine 180b equals to negative 1, how to find b? You will pindah sign, right? Okay, when you pindah sign, it becomes shift sign negative 1. And shift sign negative 1 answer is 270. Okay, yeah, it's 270. And you don't need your you cannot use calculator for this because this is a special case. You need to hafal. There are 7 special case. Sine equals 0, sine equals 1, sine equals negative 1, cos equals 0, cos equals 0, cos equals 1, cos equals negative 1, tangent equals 0. So for the answer for all this, you have to hafal, and there are 7 special case. All right. Okay, I'll just name a few lah. If sine equals 0, the answer would be 0, 180, 360. Sine equals to 1, the answer would be 90. Sine equals negative 1, the answer would be 270, and so on lah. All right. So there are 7 special case you need to hafal. Right? Yeah. But if it's not the special case, then you can use calculator. Like you can press shift sine, shift cos, shift tangent. Right? This 7 you have to hafal because the answer does not belong to any quadrant. That's why it's like special case, and you need to hafal all these 7 case. Right? So that is why I know the shift sine negative 1 is 270. Okay, now I can find my B. Just take 27 divide 18. Okay, let me press. Okay, my calculator give me 3/2. Okay, 3/2. So that means the B is 3/2. It means in 360-degree, by the time you reach 360-degree, you will uh it means that yeah, by the time you reach 360-degree, you already complete 1.5 graph. That's what it means. Wait, is it correct? Yeah, betul lah. Yeah, because if your B is 3/2 means your B is 1.5. So it means like half of the graph, half of the graph, half of the graph. So it's like this. So by the time you reach 360, it already you complete 1.5 cycle already. Okay. Okay. So hope you understand. Okay. So I already finished my part one. Now I have to do part two. They want to find the number of solutions for a sine bx equals 3/2. Okay. When you see number of solution means they want the number of intersection, right? But you don't have to find the intersection coordinate. No need, no need. You just tell them how many intersection. That's it. You just tell them how many intersection. But then they say for this one, right? So that means I will try to get, I have to draw another graph here. You understand? I have to draw another graph. It can be a straight line, it can be a curve, I don't know. But I have to draw a line. But let's example, let's say the line look like this, right? Then the number of intersection is 2 lah, right? But of course you have to draw the graph correctly, and you need the equation of the new graph. You need the equation of the new graph. So if you look at the equation they give us here, this equation is not equation that I can draw here. You need to convert this so that this equation have y, right? So you kena jadikan equation ni ada y dulu, and then baru you tahu you punya equation, then baru you boleh lukis, baru you boleh tentukan you punya number of solution, right? Because it doesn't matter whether it's equation of straight line or equation of curve or equation of trigonometry, dia mesti y one, y equals mx plus c, or y equals anything, right? Like dia mesti y equals. So the equation yang dia bagi tak ada y. So your mission now is to jadikan dia ada y. And how to do that? Refer to this. Y is a sine bx plus 1/2, right? That means you can jadikan dia ada y, tapi you kena uh, plus 1/2 both sides. So it becomes a sine bx plus 1/2, and the other side also plus 1/2. Okay. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? What's the reason? Because I know this whole thing, you can jadikan y. And then 3/2 plus 1/2, which is 2. And this is the line that I need to draw now. Y equals 2. Okay. Okay. Do you know how to draw the line y equals 2? This y equals 2 line, it will be a horizontal line. It will not be a second line one. It will only be a second line when it's like y equal mx plus c. When the other y other x, then baru dia potong y axis, x axis, then only baru dia sengit. But if it's only have y equals number, then it will just be a horizontal line. And the way we draw it is we go to y axis, cari 2, so like lebih kurang here lah, and then draw a line, and the line will be horizontal like this. Yeah, this is the line for y equals 2. Okay, y equals 2. And now you can write the number of solution. So what is the number of intersection? How many intersection? 2 right? Because this line and this graph, the sine graph and the line, they intersect at 2 different points. So the number of intersection is 2 lah, right? And that's the answer lah. Sudah siap. Okay, done already. Okay, I want to do B. I want to do B. So the B1, I will do it up here. Okay. Okay, they want you to prove that the tangent x bracket 1 plus cos 2x equals sin 2x. Okay, this one, you need to use the basic identity formula and the double angle formula to do this, right? Okay, I already memorized the formula lah, but I don't know you got memorized or not. Okay, but if you don't memorize, it will be very difficult for you to prove, right? Okay, when we prove, I will always tell my student, you have to start with the okay, you can choose. You want to start from the left hand side also can, or you want to start from right hand side also can. But I recommend you start with the more complicated side. And in this case, the left hand side is more complicated. Okay, so I will start with the left hand side, and I will try to do use the formula that I learned, the formula that I memorized, and try to change so that at the end it becomes this, right? So I start from left hand side, right? But it means my final answer should be the right hand side lah. Okay, the right hand side is sine 2x. So sine 2x, we all know can use double angle. The sine 2x can change to 2 sine x cos x. So my mission now, my job now is try to change this so that it becomes 2 sine x cos x. Or you want to straight away change directly to sine 2x also can, right? But it's not possible, I think. I think the only way is to change this to 2 sine x cos x, right? And now it doesn't look nice because it has tangent, right? But I know tangent can change to sine or cos. So let's do that. Let's change to sine or cos, right? Walaupun dia still tak sama dengan ni, but at least now it's better than having tangent, right? Okay. So you want it to be step by step to reach here later. Okay, now for the bracket inside here is 1 plus cos 2x. Oh, wait. Cos 2x, this one can use double angle, right? And cos 2x can change to three things. Yeah, three different things. Cos 2x can change to cos square x minus sine square x. It can also change to 1 minus 2 sine square x. And it can also change to 2 cos square x minus 1. Now, my question to you is which one you should change? The first one, the second one, or the third one? Okay, if I am you, I will change to the third one. 2 cos square x minus 1. Let me tell you why. Because later, if I change to cos, then only I have chance to cut, right? Potong dengan bawah sini, right? If I change to 1 minus 2 sine square, then you cannot potong dengan bawah. And then later the sine square have to times with sine, which is sine power 3, right? So I'm planning ahead while I'm deciding, right? So I'm looking at what I want and I'm trying to decide which one is like better lah, which one is the best option. So I'm trying to plan ahead. So this is the best option. Because when you choose this, okay, I'll show you now. I'll show you now. So it becomes sine x over cos x now. And then the 1 minus 1 becomes 0 and become 2 cos square, right? And you can cut this one. This one when you cut, okay, cos square means cos x times cos x. So if you cut one of it, you will just left with sine x. And then here you just left with 2 cos x only. Because this square, because when you cut, it's just left with 1 cos x. And then the baba here disappeared. So now when you times it, you get 2 sine x cos x. And this is the same with the right hand side already. Okay, but you still have to write one more baris equals to sine 2x. Okay, so now this is the right hand side. And sudah siap lah, proven. Okay, proven. Okay, so this is how you do it. So now you understand, right? Why I choose to change to 2 cos square minus 1. Why not the other two? So now you understand. Because I planned ahead and I saw that I can potong here, right? If I change to 1 minus 2 sine square, I cannot potong, and then I have to darab, and then I end up with fraction. And the right hand side don't even have fraction, right? So it's like you try to plan ahead lah. Okay, so now I'm going to do number 2. Number 2, I will do it down here lah. Okay, so number 2, it says tangent x bracket 1 plus cos 2x plus cos equals 0, right? But if you look at this, isn't this the same exact thing with atas sini, right? Plus cos x, right? Oh, including this also, so it's like this whole thing, this, no, what am I saying? Sorry, silap. Okay, this whole thing is the exact same thing with this, right? You see, tangent x, bracket 1 plus cos 2x, bracket, so it's the same, right? And this a just now, we already know that this thing can change to sine 2x. That means this whole thing also can change to sine 2x. So now your question becomes sine 2x plus cos x equals 0. Okay, and then now you can solve for x for 0 theta, but they want your answer in between 0 360, right? Okay, this one they want to find x, so later you have to tekan shift sine, shift cos, shift tangent macam tu lah, and you need to learn about the special case first. So I'll give you all the special case. Sine theta 0 equals sine theta equals 1, theta equals, it can be x also sometimes, it's the same okay, so this one sine theta equals -1, theta equals, okay, and then you have cos theta equals 0, theta equals, and then you have cos equals 1, theta equals, cos -1, theta equals, and then the last one is tangent equals 0. Yeah, tangent it means got 7 special case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you need to hafal all 7. All right. For special case, you can't use calculator. You cannot tekan shift sign 0. Cannot. Special case memang kena guna hafal. That's why it's called special case, right? Because all the angle you get here, the angle is like a special angle. The angle doesn't belong to any quadrant. Okay, sine 0 jawapan dia 0, 180, 360. Right? Sine 1 is 90, sine -1 is 270. Ini semua kena hafal. Cos 0 is 90, 270. Cos -1 is 180. Silap. Cos 1 is 0, 360. And then cos -1 baru 180. Tangent 0 is 0, 180, 360. Okay. So whenever you see this, any of this case, straight away kena ada dalam otak, and the answer should just write it down like this, right? Because it's special case, right? Okay, if you don't know this 7 special case, you cannot do this type of question, because this type of question yang dia suruh cari X punya, you memang kena tahu 7 special case ni. Alright, now I will start. First thing first, this one ada sign, this one cos, so tak bagus. So I will use the double angle. Sin 2x can change to 2 sin x cos x. This is the double angle formula. And then plus cos x equals 0. Okay, now your equation still have sin cos, but you can look here, these two terms, we can factorize. But we don't need calculator to factorize this. Both this term can divide by cos x. They both have cos x. So you just simply factorize out the cos x like this, right? And then you left with 2 sin x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, kenapa saya factorize? Kenapa saya buat macam tu? Because I know I can take the first, this one equals 0, and then the next bracket equals 0, right? Yeah, so you will end up with something, darab something equals 0. So the first one equals 0, the next one equals 0. So cos x equals 0, and then the other one, 2 sin x plus 1 equals 0. And if you want to find sin x, you have to pindah jadi negative 1 over 2 like this, right? Okay, now tell me, this one normal case or special case? Cos 0. Special case, right? And if it's special case, cannot use calculator, you have to straight away know the answer. So cos 0, the answer is 9270. I sudah tulis ini ya. I already read it here. Okay. Okay, for this one, you will use calculator to do it. But when you use calculator, you have to press shift sign, but don't press the negative, please. The negative only indicates quadrant. What you should do now is you have to get the reference angle first. So here I'll write x equals shift sign, and here you have to write RA. RA stands for reference angle. It means this is not the real answer yet. It's just a reference angle. Okay. So what you have to do, tekan now lah, shift sign 102, and your calculator will give you 30. Okay, it will give you 30. Okay. But this is not your answer, because I told you already, this is just a reference angle. You have to consider quadrant, add sugar to coffee, sign negative. Okay, if sign positive, first quadrant and second quadrant, sign negative is third and fourth quadrant. So I have to convert this reference angle to third quadrant and fourth quadrant. And how to do that? You just plus 180 and 360 minus 30 plus 180, 210, 360 minus 30, 330. Okay, so I will write down the format here. If you have your reference angle, you want to convert to second quadrant, 180 minus, convert to third quadrant, 180 plus, and then convert to fourth, 360 minus. So this question, they want the answer in quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That's why I take 180 plus and 360 minus. Alright, ini semua kena tahu. Okay, semua kena tahu. So this is your answer, this is your answer. Okay, I will combine all my answer now and write it in one baris. So x equals, start with the smallest answer, 90, followed by 210, followed by 270, followed by 330. And I think the answer, they never say in degree or radius. Okay, they want in between 0, 360. So yeah, this is the answer lah. So got 4 answer. Okay, sudah siap. Alright, I want to do number 6 now. Diagram 6 shows part of the curve y equals 4 over x squared. Okay, so this is the curve, and they give us some x value here, 2k8. Okay, no problem. Okay, soalan A. If the area of P is 4 times the area of Q, so area of P equals 4 times area of Q. Soalan number 1, find the value of K. So definitely we use this information to find, right? And this is an integration question. Yeah, it's integration. And when you integrate, kalau ada x bawah tak boleh integrate, right? So try to straight away move it up like this. 4x power negative 2. Okay, now how to find area of P? Very easy, because this P area, this region P is in between the curve and the x-axis. And these two lines is already a straight vertical line. So we don't have to do anything extra. Just integrate one time, you can do it already. But if one day, if the line is like sengit macam tu, then you have to maybe like integrate this separately and then find this separately and then tambah. Because the other one is a triangle, right? But if the two line is straight already, if the two line is like completely vertical straight already, and also the region is in between the curve and the x-axis, you can just integrate satu kali boleh dapat jawapan ni. Okay, so integrate from where to where? From 2 to k, and you integrate towards x-axis. So it will be dx, and the formula here have to masuk y lah, and the y it will be 4x power negative 2. Okay, this is how you get area of P equals to 4 times area of Q. Okay, area of Q will be integrate. So this two line is also vertical line, so you can integrate sekali boleh dapat dah area. So from where to where? K to 8. Make sure you always put the small number dekat bawah, big number atas. K number will definitely be smaller because it's nearer to 0. Okay, and then also integrate towards x, so dx, and then the y is 4x power negative 2. Okay, now we can just continue from here. Integrate 4x power negative 2, 4x power negative 1 over negative 1. Because when you integrate, the power have to plus 1. So negative 2 plus 1, negative 1, and then bahagi dengan power negative 1. And then tutup bracket, k2 equals 4. Same thing here, integrate, you will get the same 4x power negative 1 or negative 1, but this time the number here is 8k. Okay, now we will start k inside, right? But I recommend don't start first because this one, the power negative, and also we can simplify. So 4 divided negative 1 is negative 4. So I write sep negative 4. And then the x power negative 1, you can put it down. Because when you letak bawah, the power become positive, right? So now it's easier to sub, right? It's easier to substitute when you simplify it, right? Actually, this one you want to simplify also can, right? I mean, you want to substitute terus pun boleh. But I always teach my student, kalau boleh simplify, jadikan power positive dulu. Lepas tu baru sub. Okay, this one also I will simplify first. So it becomes 4 divided negative 1 is negative 4. The x power negative 1, you can put it down like this. Okay, it's better to simplify first because now it's easier to sub inside, right? If you sub inside here, it's like power negative, it's like, yeah, a bit susah, right? Okay, but now it's easy already. So when you sub, you have to open two bracket. The first bracket you have to sub k inside, so you get negative 4, okay? The other one you sub 2, which is negative 4, 2. But if you want to write fast, straight away write negative 2 lah. Because negative 2, 4 divided 2, right? Equals 4. Okay, I write here lah. So equals 4 big bracket. And then this one also you have to open two bracket. And then in the middle have to minus. Okay, the first bracket you have to sub 8 inside. So negative 4 over 8, which is negative 1 over 2. And then the other bracket sub k inside negative 4. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll continue here. So what is this? Negative 4 over k plus 2. So just write negative 4 over k plus 2. And then the other side is 4 times. Okay, what is negative 1 over 2 minus is plus lah. So big bracket, negative 1 over 2 plus 4 over k like this. Okay, now I will take the 4, I will darab masuk, I will expand. Okay, kembang. So 4 times 1 over 2 means 4 divided 2, 2, so negative 2. 4 times 4 is 16 over k. And then this one is negative 4 over k plus 2. Okay, I will try to get rid of the fraction. How to do that? Just take everything times k. Because when you do that, the k can cut. Then you can matikan the k. And then you can get rid of the fraction at the same time. So it becomes negative 4. When you times k, this one potong. Times k is 2k. Times k is negative 2k. Times k is 16. Right? Wait, did I do everything correctly? Yeah, I think I did everything correctly. Now how to find k? Okay, minus 2, k dengan k boleh buat, number dengan number boleh buat. So 2k minus 2 pindah jadi plus 2. 2k plus 2k, 4k. And then negative 4 pindah jadi plus 4. 16 plus 4, 20. So k equals 5. So that means this number is 5 lah. Okay, that's how I would do it. Hope you understand. Done. Now we can do question 2. Question 2 to ask us to find area of region Q. Very simple. Because area of region Q is this one, which is this, which brings you to this, which brings you to this, right? Which brings you to this, which brings you to this, right? So if you're lazy like me, you can straight away do this negative 1 over 2 plus 4, okay? Okay, because takkanlah you nak buat sekali lagi semua ni. If you want to do again, can also lah. If you sangat rajin, you want to do again, can lah. But I don't want to do it again. I will just tengok ambil dari sini. But this time the k sub 5 lah, because you already know the k is 5. And then you press this, you get your answer already. Okay. But be careful, don't take this one. Because this one is like after you times 4 already, then it's not correct already. You have to take the answer before you times 4. Okay. Which is this one. Okay, now press negative 1 over 2 plus 4 over 5. So press calculator, you will get 3 over 10. So that is the answer. Okay, now we can do next question. Make sure you write unit square because it's area, right? Okay, so that's all. Okay, B. The total area of region P and Q are revolved 360 about x-axis. Find volume. Okay, when you find volume, the formula will be integrate pi y square dx ataupun pi x square dy, right? But this one they say x-axis already, so it's dx, and then this one is pi y square. And if you look at region P and Q, you don't need to integrate 2 times. Integrate 1 time it can already because the line is already straight and the region is already in between the curve and the x-axis. So you don't have to do something like or integrate 2 times and then minus or like plus or any, no need already. Like just integrate sekali cukup already. And since you are in apa, you revolve x-axis, right? So you get a 3D shape like this, lah, right? And then the limit will be from 2 to 8. Okay, this one is 2, right? So yeah, the number I put will be 2, 8. Okay, and then because it's like you're combining both P and Q. Okay, and then the pi can letak depan, and then you left with y square here. So we need to go to the equation and try to find y square. Okay, my y is 4x power negative 2, right? So y is 4x power negative 2. So what is my y square? It will be 4x power negative 2 power 2 again. Okay, don't integrate first. Don't integrate first. So this symbol you still have to write. Try to what power 2 to do. So what is 4 power 2? 16. X power negative 2 power 2, that's x power negative 4. Because when you have power side by side like this, the power did 2 times, right? Okay, sekarang baru you integrate. So when you start to integrate, you will stop writing this symbol and you will start to write big bracket. And when you integrate the power plus 1, so 16x power negative 3 over negative 3, and then close bracket, 8, 2, right? Okay, you don't have to write the dx already. When you start integrate, no need already. Okay, and same thing like just now, I mentioned it. Kalau saya ajar saya punya student, I will always tell them to simplify this. It means try to make the power positive first. Before you start, make the power positive. 16 divided negative 3 is negative 16 over 3. X power negative 3 is power negative. How to make it power positive? You can just letak bawah. When you letak bawah, power is positive. Now only you sub. Okay, because now when you sub, it becomes easier. So bracket minus bracket. The first bracket, you have to sub 8. This one sub 2 and then minus. Okay, when you sub 8 inside, what is 8 power 3 times 3? Press calculator. 8 power 3 times 3. Okay, my calculator give me 1536, but you have to take 16 divide answer. So my calculator give me negative 1 over 96. Use your calculator to help you. Okay, now sub 2. 2 power 3, 8. 8 times 3, 24. 16 divide 24, 2 over 3, but that's negative, right? So just put negative 2 over 3. Okay, minus minus jadi plus. So I have to press negative 1 over 96 plus 2 over 3. Okay, my calculator give me 21 over 32. Okay, 21 over 32. And that's the answer lah. But make sure you write the pi, and also make sure you write units cube, because this is volume, right? Pi, the answer, the question also say in terms of pi, right? So yeah, that's all. Okay, I want to do number 7. Okay, number 7, I will write my working here. Solve the following simultaneous equation. Solve means study xy. Give your answer correct to 3 decimal place. Okay, if they mention something like this, give to 3 decimal place, means later your answer will be jawapan yang ada point, and jawapan tu tak boleh tukar fraction one. That's why they say this, correct to 3 decimal. It means later you will end up using the quadratic formula. You have to use this formula, plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Remember this formula? This formula, we call this a quadratic formula, right? We will use this formula when the quadratic equation answer is like an ugly answer, like jawapan yang ada point, and then tak boleh tukar fraction one, right? And I already know this jawapan will be like this because they already say correct to 3 decimal place, right? So later when I end up with a quadratic equation, I don't even have to think. I will straight away use this, right? Because they already say that the answer should be in 3 decimal place, right? So definitely it's like ugly answer one. Okay, now I will start to solve first. Okay, I can use substitution method or elimination, right? But if I am you, I will use substitution because the first equation is a linear equation, but the second equation is non-linear. You can see got power 2 like that. So for this type of equation yang macam ni, like satu linear, satu non-linear, don't use the penghapusan cara. Don't use the elimination. Use substitution. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the only way is to use substitution. But first, I need to start from equation 1 and try to find x first. Okay, don't start from equation 2. It will be very difficult to find that. It will be very susah to jadikan xy single if you start from equation 2, right? Because got square and everything. So, but it's very easy if you start from 1 and try to make x single better lah. If you make y single, can also, but there will be fraction. So I don't like it. So I will just jadikan x single, and you just pindah the negative 2y jadi 2y, pindah minus 1 jadi plus 1, and I will call this equation 3, and then I will just write sub 3 into 2. Okay, oh, what happened? Sub 3 into equation 2. Okay, now my eyes will look at the I will look at the equation 2, and I'll write down the whole equation 2 now. But instead of writing 2x square, I'll write 2 bracket square because later I have to replace. And then plus y square plus minus 2x, x also open bracket, minus 3y equals 17. And then for the x, you just sub with the 2y plus 1, right? Okay, now we can just expand the whole thing and then cari y lah. Okay, so 2 bracket. How do we expand this? First, we take 2y square, you get 4y square, and then next thing you take 2y times 1 times 2. So you get positive 4y, and then last thing is take the 1 square, so 1, and then plus y square minus, okay, this one tak ada power. Yeah, this bracket dia tak ada power 2, power 3, dia tak ada power. So if tak ada power, if no power, you can straight away expand, kembang lah. So negative 2 times 2y, negative 4y, negative 2 times 1, negative 2 minus 3y equals 17. Okay, now don't forget the 2 also have to times here, so it becomes 8y squared times 2, 8y times 2, 2 plus y squared minus 4y minus 2 minus 3y equals 17. Okay, now you get a quadratic equation because you see square already, right? So when you see square means you have to susun jadi general form and then pindah everything on one side equals 0. So 8y squared plus y squared kena tulis dulu 9y squared. 8y minus 4y minus 3y which is 1y. So plus 1y. And then the next thing is 2 minus 2 which is 0. And then minus 17 is negative 17. Okay, you can use your calculator to help you. Huh? Okay, I don't have to try with my calculator to see whether I get nice answer or ugly answer. I don't have to do that. I already know it's 3 decimal place. So straight away use the quadratic formula. Okay, but don't write x equals, write y equals, right? Okay, I know here I write x equals, but this equation you are trying to find y, so it should be y equals, right? So I will do it up here. Y equals negative b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, for the b, it will be 1, 1. For the a, it will be 9. So this one also a, so this one also 9. And then for the c, is negative 17. Now your y will equals to 2 times 9, 18, negative 1 plus minus square root. Okay, let's try to tekan, see what I get for the discriminant. The b square minus 4ac discriminant dapat berapa? Bracket negative 17. Okay, my calculator give me 613. Okay, so your b square minus 4ac is actually greater than 0. It means like your discriminant is positive. It means you have two different roots. Yeah, you will end up with two different roots now. So y equals to, okay, the first answer I have to tekan plus, the second answer I have to tekan minus. So let's press together. Let's press negative 1 plus square root 1, 613 equal, and then answer divide 18. Okay, I get it, 1.31. Okay, they say 3 decimal place, right? So 1.3199, so 1.320. Okay, yeah, round off, 3 decimal place. The other one will be negative 1 minus square root 613 equal, and then answer divide 18. Okay, if you write in 3 decimal place, it will be negative 1.431. Okay, negative 1.431. Okay, I'll just write y equals like this, comma. Okay, okay, but I still have to find x, so I have to sub inside here, so it became x equals 2 times 1.320 plus 1, and then later I press here, and then the other one, x equals 2 bracket negative 1.431 plus 1, and then later I tekan here. Okay, let's press now. 2 times 1.32 plus 1. Okay, my calculator give me 3.640. Okay, 3 decimal place. The other one, 2 bracket negative 1.431 total plus 1. Okay, negative 1.862. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, this question is, they said solve, find x and y. So this is the answer. So I'll write again for them, dot, dot, dot. X equals 3.640, comma, y equals 1.320. And then you use this symbol, like dot, comma, x equals negative 1.862, y equals negative 1.431. Okay, and they will give you full mark here, right? This symbol means atau, like ataupun, right? So x equals to this, y equals to this, ataupun x this, y this, right? Okay, so that's all. That's the answer. Okay, so that's it. Now let's do B. Okay, B says, what makes the value of A that makes the following system have an infinite solution? Infinite solution, you will have 0 equals 0, right? 0 equals 0 means you have, is when you have like infinite answer, right? And you will only have infinite solution when it has 3 variables. Okay, so let's talk about type of solution. Type of solution for linear equation involving 3 variables, you will either get one solution. One solution means you will get x satu jawapan, y satu jawapan, and then z satu jawapan. This is one solution. But you can also get infinite solution. Infinite solution is when you do everything correctly, but you end up with 0 equals 0, right? Then we say this has infinite solution, right? And then the next one is no solution. No solution means when you do everything correctly, but you end up with 0 equals number. But the number can be anything, like 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. Okay? It means that they don't have any intersection lah. This case. This case is this case means you have infinite solution, because when it has three variable, it will not be a line. It will be a 3D plane. Yeah, you will have to plot in a 3D coordinate system. So if it's like in 3D, it's possible to get infinite solution. And this one just means that all the in the 3D plane, they only intersect at one point, right? Okay, but this question, they are asking you to find A when it has infinite solution. But it's okay. Let's try to use the substitution method or elimination method first. So I can see that this is my equation 1, this is my equation 2. So is it better to use substitution or elimination? If I am you, I will use elimination. You know why? Because this one got over 2, over 2, over 2, and I don't like it, right? I don't like when it has fraction. So what I can do is times 2. And also when you times 2, the 2x can become 4x. And then later the 4x and negative 4x you can eliminate. Okay, but you will plus lah, not minus, right? So the plan now is to take equation 1 times 2. Okay, equation 1 times 2, because later I want to half post the 4x and the negative 4x, I want to eliminate. Okay, when you take equation 1 times 2, you get 2, you get 4x, and then here when you times 2, you can cut the 2, so left with negative 3y. Then also cut the 2, become 5z equals 1. So now this is equation 3, but equation 3 come from 1, so now your equation 3 can half post with equation 2. So equation 3 is 4x minus 3y plus 5z equals 1. Equation 2, negative 4x plus 3y plus bracket a square minus 14z equals a minus 4. And if you're trying to hapuskan the 4x, you should plus. Yeah, you should plus, because if you minus, later it becomes 4 minus negative 4 become plus 4, like 8 already. Then it's like, then you didn't eliminate the y already. So you should eliminate. So and when you want to eliminate and the tanda tak sama, you should plus. 4x plus minus 4x 0. Negative 3y plus 3y means negative 3 plus 3 also becomes 0. So you're left with this, right? So let's try to take 5z, okay, plus with a square minus 14. So you end up with 5 plus a square minus 14 bracket z, like this. Okay, and then the other side will be 1 plus a minus 4, which is just 1 plus a minus 4, like that. Okay, let's try to take 5 minus 14 sebab ini boleh buat. So you will get a square 5 minus 14 negative 9, and then bracket z equals to 1 plus a minus 4, which is a minus 3. Okay, okay, this is what I end up. Okay, so I end up with this. But the soalan mentioned something here. What makes the value of a that makes the following system have an infinite solution? It means what nilai a I have to put inside here so that it ends up with 0 equals 0. You understand now? It means nilai a apa yang saya kena masuk dalam sini supaya you dapat kosong sama dengan kosong. So you have to just take both sides equals 0 lah. Just take a square, because you want this whole thing to be 0 and you want this thing to be 0, right? And then the answer will be, and then the answer will come out later. Okay, so a square equals 9, a equals plus minus square root 9, a equals 3 or negative 3. The other side, minus 3 just pindah 3, right? So which one is your answer, 3 or negative 3? Okay, the answer is 3. Okay, the answer is 3. Let me show you, let me prove to you using another method. You can actually sub back inside here, right? So you can actually sub back inside here, and then you will understand why I say the answer is 3. So this on the left side is a squared minus 9z, and then on this side is a minus 3, right? So it's like bracket minus 3. Imagine if your a is negative 3, will you get 0 equals 0? No, right? Because negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6 already. And then this one is like, okay, this one is 0 lah. Negative 3 square is 9, 9 minus 9, 0, 0 times z, 0 times x, 0 lah. So you end up with this. This is not infinite solution. This is no solution. 0 equals number, no solution. They are asking you the value of, they are asking for the value of a that makes, that jadikan dia infinite solution. So definitely not negative 3. But 3 boleh. 3 boleh. Because 3 minus 3, you really get 0 here. And then 3 square is 9, 9 minus 9, 0, 0. You see? So the only value of a that can make this infinite solution is 3. Is 3. Okay? And it makes sense lah, because here you get 3, negative 3, here you get 3 ma. So the overlap answer is 3 lah. So I will just write dot 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 a equals 3 like this. And then done already. That's answer. So there's only one answer for this. One A answer only. Not two answer, just one only. 3 only. Right? The answer is 3. Okay, that's all. So that's it. Okay, I will do bahagian B now. So bahagian ini mengandungi 4 soalan, jawab 3 soalan. Okay, I will jawab all 4 soalan in bahagian B. Okay, alright. So number 8, this is a linear law question. So let's read number 8. What it says here: Table 1 shows the values of two variables x and y obtained from an experiment. Okay, that's the table. The variable x and y are related by this equation, where k and p are constant. A straight line will be obtained when the graph of log y against x is plotted. Okay, when we are doing linear law question, and if they give us the equation, you should try to change it to linear form straight away. Okay, even if the question never asked, you should still do it, right? In paper one also same, because linear law will come out in paper one also. And when it come out, doesn't matter whether it's come out in paper one or paper two, when they give you equation, you straight away change to linear form. It means you change to y equals mx plus c, even if the question never asks, right? So for this question, the part A asks us to plot graph, right? But I will not do that first. I will change to linear form first, because if you don't do that later, you cannot do part B. Because part B later, they will ask you to find K and P. And if you don't change to Y equals MX plus C, you don't know how to find KP, right? So first step is change to linear form. And then the next step is to draw a new table, right? And then only I can do my part A. Because when yeah, you have to do that, right? I know the question never asks you to draw new table, but you need to do it. Because how you supposed to draw the graph if you don't have the new table? You cannot use this table, right? This table is x and y. It's not, they want log y against x later, right? Okay, so it means they want your y-axis to be log y base 10, and they want your x-axis to be x. So how can we make this into linear form? If you want this, if you want to change this to y equals mx plus c, you need to make sure the equation punya y-axis have to match with the graph punya y-axis, right? So what we have to do is you have to tambah log on both sides. So when you add it on this side, the other side also have to letak log. Okay, remember this power x you cannot letak depan. Cannot cannot. Tak boleh. Tak boleh letak depan. Because this x is only p power x. It's not kp power x. If it's kp power x, then the x boleh letak depan. But they never write bracket. It means the x only p sahaja yang power x. So you cannot put in front. So the way we should do it is to separate this thing. So it becomes log 10y. This one single log times you should separate it. Separate asingkan. So it becomes separate log plus. So it becomes log 10k plus log 10p power x. And now the x can letak depan. Right? Okay, now just arrange a bit. You want it to be y equal mx plus c, right? So this is your y-axis, mx plus c. So you have to write this one first. But x darab log p and log p darab x is the same thing. X times log p times x is the same thing. So I'll write log p times x, right? And then plus log k. Okay. The reason why you have to write specific like this is because you want it to arrange in, you want it to be y equal mx plus c. So you can see the y-axis, your equation y-axis already matched with the graph y-axis, and your x-axis also matched with the graph x-axis. That means your gradient and y-intercept, you can already see it from your equation. The gradient will be log p, and the y-intercept will be log k. And I will repeat one more time, you need this later when you do part B, part B2, B3, because they want you to find k and p here. And if you don't do this first, you can't do your part B1, B2 later. Okay, I will just do it. I will just write now. So number one, working later, I'll do it here. For number two and number three, I will straight away write the working now. So what is number two? They ask you to find k, right? So how do you think I will find k? I will use the y-intercept. But the y-intercept is not k. Tengok betul-betul. The y-intercept is log k, right? So you should actually write log k equals y-intercept. And the y have to use huruf besar, right? Because this your y-axis is not actually y, it's actually log y, right? So that's why. And then later it will be log k equals y-intercept. Of course, this y-intercept you don't know now because you haven't drawn the graph. So later after you draw your graph, then you can masukkan your y-intercept here. But after you masuk, you still have to do anti-log, right? Because they ask you to find k. So you still have to bina the log base. It means you do anti-log lah, right? Okay, but that one you have to do your graph first, right? So now I just tulis siap-siap dulu lah. Okay, what about the P? How to find P? Use gradient, but your gradient is not P, your gradient is log P. Okay, it's actually log P. So log 10P equals to gradient, right? And again, I cannot find my gradient now because I haven't drawn my graph, but it's okay. I tulis siap-siap like this first, right? And then later after I grade my gradient, I perform anti-log, find P, right? Okay, for now I will just write like this. Now we draw new table. Yeah, now we draw new table. And the table will also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, right? So yeah, it will have 6 points also. Okay. So this is my table like this, and then later it will be like here, and then it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this one is XY, but this graph they want log Y against X. So this is X, but this one is log Y base 10, right? Okay, the X we can just take from the old table because the old table is X. It means the X axis never change. The X value never change. It's still 1, 2, 3, and then 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, so this table I draw extra already. This one tak ada guna. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then for the log Y base 10, this one I have to press log. Ini semua nilai lah. So let's press the first one, log 58 base 10. So I will press now. My calculator give me. Okay, make sure you write in 2 decimal place because this is a graph question. Later you need to plot this. So just write 2 decimal place. Okay, only for graph question you write 2 decimal place. All right. So let's write the answer. 1.76. So just write it. Okay, next one is log 201. So just press base 10. Okay, 2.30. If you write in 2 decimal places, that's the answer. Next one, log 3170. Let's press. Okay, 3.50. Yeah, just right. Okay, next one is this one, 7940, log 7940. 3.899, so 3.90 lah. If you write in 2 decimal place, it will be like this. Okay, next one, what is it? Log 330,000 and then 900. 4.49. Okay, right, 2 decimal place. Okay, last one. Log 100,500. Okay, my calculator give me 5.00. The next digit is 2, so I don't need to plus 1. So it's just 5.00. Okay. Okay, so this is my table. Now I can finally do my part A. Alright. So I repeat one more time. For linear log question, you need to change to linear form and draw a new table, even if the question never asks. Sometimes the question will ask us to draw new tables, but sometimes they won't ask. And even if they won't ask, you need to know that you need to do this two first. All right. Okay, now we can do A now finally. Plot log Y against X using a scale 2 cm to 1 on X axis, 2 cm to 0.5 on log Y. Draw the line of best fit. Okay, before I start going to the graph paper, first let's check our table first. So can you see that all value is positive? So that means later your graph will be, let's say this is your graph paper and your 0, 0, you have to put bawah sebelah kiri at the bottom left because everything is positive, right? It means later all your points is in the first quadrant. So that's why you put your origin here, okay? And also the scale, you can just follow what it says here, 2 cm to 1 on x-axis. So you just go 1, 2, 3 until 7 lah, because the highest value is 7. For the y-axis, I mean the log y-axis is 2 cm 0.5. And then you go until what's the highest value? 5, right? So you use 10 kotak until you reach 5.0. Okay, because that's the highest value, right? Okay, now I will go to the graph and start dropping the axis. So 10 kotak for here, because this one is 0 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, and then 3.5, sorry, 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, 4.5, 5.0. Okay, enough. This one is log y base 10. Okay, for the x-axis, they say 2 cm to 1 unit. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the highest value is 7, right? Okay, it's enough space actually, right? Yes, but later your x-axis, it's okay. You can still plot it. Just later you plot at the side here lah for the 7, right? Okay, and here you write x, right? And then for the other one, that's the log y lah. Okay, so let me draw nicely. So it will look like this, right? Okay, so this is your axis. Okay, I will write the title now. The title will be graph of log y base 10 against x. Yeah, the title have to write. Okay, in exam also make sure you write this. Okay, you want to if you don't want to write now, you want to write last kali baru tulis boleh juga, right? But if I write now, then later I don't have to write already lah. So yeah, I'll just write it now. Okay, now we can go back and start to plot the points. The first point is 1.76. Okay, how do we plot 1.76? Okay, we cari 1 dulu. Very easy lah. 1 is here. 1.76 is actually 1.5 Naik 2 kotak is 1.6, naik lagi 2 is 1.7, and naik 1 here is 1.75. So 76 is just 75, naik sikit. Okay, naik sikit, right? Let me explain a bit. From here to here, the difference is 0.5. It means if you want to know one kotak, it will be 0.5 divide 10, which is 0.05. But if you kira one kotak is very slow, right? So imagine if one kotak is 0.05, what is two kotak? It will be 0.1 lah. That is why every time you naik dua kotak, you tambah 0.1. Every time you turun dua kotak, you minus 0.1. So if this is 1.5, naik dua is 1.6, naik dua is 1.7. But if you naik lagi dua, it will be 1.8. So I will not naik dua, I will just naik satu. So I end up with 1.75. And I want 1.76. So naik lagi sikit lah. Like sikit. Okay, sikit. Right? Because if you naik satu is 1.8. So 1.75, 1.8. So 1.76 is roughly here. Okay. All right. So hope makes sense to you. Okay. Next one is 2.3. Yeah, this one easy. 2 is here. Okay. 2 is down here. And then 2.3 is just 2.5 minus 4 kotak. Okay. Why minus 4 kotak? Because when you minus 2 kotak is 2.4. And then you minus lagi 2 kotak lah. Okay. So 2.3. Okay. Let me plot again nicely. So 2.5 turun 2, 2.4 turun lagi 2, 2.3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one. Okay. Yeah, this one is 2.3. Okay. 2.1, 2.2. Yeah, correct. Okay, next one. Let's continue. 3.5. Okay, let's go. 3.5. 3 is down here. 3.5 is exactly here. So yeah, this one is okay. Okay, done. Next one. 5, 3.9. Okay, no problem. 5, oh, so it's not 4, it's 5. 3.9 is 4.0 turun 2 kotak. Yep, like this. Okay, next one. What it says? 6, 4.49. Okay, let's plot. Where is 4.49? 6, 4.49. Okay, 6 is here. 4.49 is 4.5. Okay, let's make this smaller. So 4.49 is 4.5 turun. Okay, what is 4.5 turun 2 kotak? It's 4.4, right? But what if you don't turun 2 kotak, you turun 1 kotak? Then it's 4.45, right? So 4.49 is actually just 4.5, like just turun sikit. Yeah, because 4.5, if you turun 1 kotak, is 4.45. So 4.49 is roughly like here lah. It means like 4.5, you just turun a bit, like just 4.5, like turun a bit, then it's 4.49 already. Yeah, because 4.49 and 4.5, the difference is only very small. Okay, last point is 7.5. So let's finish it. 7.5. Okay, this is easy lah. 7.5. So we all know 7 is at the side here, 5 is just here, right? Okay, done. Now we can draw the line of best fit. Okay, for linear law, you need to know that it's okay if your line doesn't touch all the points. Okay, just make sure you adjust so that it touches most point. Okay, you just adjust so that it sentuh paling banyak point, right? So I think it's very obvious to me that the line of best fit will sentuh these 5 points, right? Okay, one of these one tak sentuh lah, but it's very near, so it's okay. So you just adjust a bit. Okay, take your ruler, goyang a bit, and then you will eventually see that there is one line that is like the best line lah. Like we call it the line of best fit, right? So just adjust a bit, goyang sikit. Okay, like try to make it like touches the most points lah. Okay, so I think my case is, so I think I will just, yeah, this I think this is how my graph looks like. So we can say that my line touches 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Okay, this one is very near, so we don't count it lah. So we don't count it. So it's like sentuh 4 points, right? But this is like good already because yeah, your graph sentuh paling banyak point already, right? Okay, why this point so far away is because later when you do part C, I mean part B1, they said like find the correct value if one of the value has been wrongly recorded. So obviously this is the wrong value lah. And to get the correct value, we have to pull this point down here. That is the correct value, right? But that one later lah. So for now, I sudah siap my graph part. So this is your answer. And make sure you write the tajuk. Okay, now let's do next part. So draw the line of best fit, 4 marks. Okay, done. Now we do the part B1. Okay, B1 says using graph in 9A, find the correct value of y if one of the value of y has been wrongly recorded. So I have to write down my wrong value, right? Wrong value of uh wait, find the correct value if one of it has been wrongly recorded. Okay, so what is the wrong value of y? It means I have to look at the y coordinate of this point, right? Which is 3.5. But if you look carefully, that's the y axis is not y, it's log y, right? So you have to go back to your old table and go back to this point. But this table give you log y, so it's actually 3170 is the wrong value of y. Yeah, the wrong value of y will be 3170. Okay. Or okay, I don't want to write wrong value of y lah. I'll just write wrong value of log y. Okay, log y. If I write like this, then I can put the 3.5 already. Okay, makes sense, right? Because the wrong value of y is sorry, wrong value of log y is 3.5, right? And how to get the correct value? Okay, it's very easy. Later I'll show you. So the correct value of log y will be okay. So if you want this point to be correct, you have to turunkan this point lah. And turun until where? You don't tell me you turun until down here. No, no, no. You turun until it touch the line lah. Because that's when it's you would prefer when the point is on the line, right? Then it's better, right? Okay, I can see that this point is like somewhere in between, but it's nearer to this. So I'll just take this line. Okay, I'll just take this as my answer. So let's just start it like this. So I can see it's exactly at 2.9 because it's 3.0 turun 2 kotak. So turun 2 kotak is 2.9 lah. Okay, 2.9. No, 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 no. What am I saying? Okay, okay, sorry, sorry. 3 turun 2 kotak is 2.9, but my one is like turun lagi satu. So actually it's 2.85. Ya, silap baca. So turun 2 kotak is 2.9. Tapi dia turun 3 kotak mah. So 2.9 turun lagi satu is 2.85. So that is my correct value of log y. But this is not the answer. Hello? They want to find correct value of y. Correct value of y. So how to find y? You perform anti-log. When you have log something, base something equals to something, you can do anti-log. Just pindah the log base to the other side, and then it will become the number base, and then the C will become power. So you will apply the same thing here, just pindah the log base, and then later it becomes 10 power 2.85. Now we just press this. Okay, for this one, I'll write 4 significant figure. So 10 power 2.85. Okay, 707 point. Okay lah, let's write 2 decimal place. Because it's like, if you write 4, because the decimal, there's a 3 digit in front of the decimal. So I think it's better if you write 2 decimal place. So 945 or 95. So you round off lah, basically. Okay. All right. If your if your answer is not accurate exactly like this, is okay one. Just make sure it's not too far away. Okay. For linear law, the schema will bagi range for the answer. Okay. So it's okay if your answer is not exactly the same. All right. Just make sure it's your correct value is 2.85, like near to 2.85. Right. Okay. Now I want to continue. And I want to continue with the second question. So the second question asks us to find K, and then the third question asks us to find P. And I already tulis siap-siap already. I already write just now when I do, even before I do A, after I change to linear form, I already see the gradient is log P, 1Z log K, and I already tulis siap-siap already. So now we just have to put in all the information. Okay, for the y-intercept, let's baca first. So my one is 1.0 naik 1, 2, 3, naik 4 kotak. Okay, 1.0 naik 2 kotak is 1.1. Naik lagi 2 is 1.2 lah. So my y-intercept is 1.2. And how to find K? Do anti-log. Okay, 10 power 1.2 like this. So the 1.2 become power now. So now we press. So what is 10 power 1.2? Okay, my calculator give me 15.85. Right? So this is my K answer. Okay. Okay. What about my gradient? So my gradient will be, okay, my gradient, I have to take 2 coordinates. Yeah, I need to choose two points, right? Because the formula for gradient is y minus y bahagi x minus x. So you can choose any 2 points you want, but I will choose 0 to 5. Let me tell you why. Because if you take 0 to 5, if you take 0 to 5, okay, it's very hard to read, right? Uh, okay, how? Okay, I'll just take this point lah. Okay, the reason why I take 0 to 5 is because later when you take gradient, the formula is y minus y over x minus x. And if your x coordinate you take 0 to 5, then later your difference in x will be 5. And 5 is a very good number, or a very easy number to bahagi. When you divide numbers like 2, 5, or 10, you will end up with an answer that looks nice. Makes sense, right? Because you divide by 2, 5, or 10. If your difference is like 7 or 3, then you will end up with like many decimal place. Like your answer will not look so nice. That's why I choose 0 to 5. And for those that want to choose 1 to 6 can also. Because if you choose 1 to 6, the difference is also the difference is also 5, right? Okay, so 0, my case here is 1.2, right? And then for this 5 is 4.0 turun 2 kotak, which is 3.9. Okay, so put a dot. All right, now after you do that, you will draw a dotted line, join these 2 points, and it will form a right angle triangle, right? So it will look like this. And then after you join it, then you can put in, then you can use the gradient formula to find the gradient. So the formula is y minus y over x minus x. So 3.9 minus 1.2 over 5 minus 0. 3.9 minus 1.2 over 5 minus 0. Now we just press calculator. 3.9 minus 1.2 and then answer divide 5. So it's 0.54. But this is the log p. I want the p. So perform anti-log again. So it becomes 10 power 0.54. Or you can also tekan shift log answer. It's the same thing. Okay, so 10 power 0.54. Okay, my calculator give me 3.467. Okay, 3.467. So that's the answer lah. Okay, right in four significant figure. Okay, if your answer, okay, I want to tell you something. In the schema, they will give you a range one. So it's it's okay if your answer is not exactly the same with the schema. Okay, if it's not too far away, then it's fine. So you jangan ingat like, oh, your answer not same, then you have to erase the whole thing and do again. No need one. If your gradient is dekat dengan 0.54, for example 0.53 or 0.55, then it's acceptable already. Okay, even if your answer here ends up being different, is fine. As long as your gradient and y-intercept is not too far away from the schema, then it's considered correct. Okay, okay, hope you get it. So now I'm done with the linear law question. So this is worth 10 marks. So sudah siap lah. Okay, I want to do number 9 now. So number 9 is also worth 10 marks because this is section B. All question worth 10 marks. This one is probability distribution question. Okay, when when we are doing the probability distribution, our first job is to check whether it's binomial punya soalan or normal punya soalan dulu. If it's binomial, we have to use we learn 4 formulas. Ada 4 formula dekat binomial. First is the probability formula, and then the mean, the variance, the standard deviation. And then if it's a normal distribution, we have to use the Z value table, right? And let's try to read the question first. In a fitness test, body mass index BMI for participant follows a normal distribution. So when you see the word normal, so it means definitely this one is it's not binomial and it's normal, and you need to use the Z value table, right? You need to convert X to Z and then use the Z value table, baca the probability. Okay, for normal distribution, they will give you mean and standard deviation. So they give it here, mean is 22.5, standard deviation 3.2. And let me ask you why they give us the mean 22.5 and the standard deviation 3.2. Kenapa dia bagi mean dengan standard deviation? It's for us to tukar jadi Z. Yeah, because the formula when you want to tukar X jadi Z is you take to find Z, you take the X minus mean bahagi standard deviation. Okay, this is the formula that we learn in this chapter. Okay, when we want to convert X to Z, this is the formula we use. Okay, participant will be categorized based on the BMI obtained as shown in table 9, where M is constant. So category, we have underweight, we have normal weight, we have overweight. So underweight is for student that is BMI less than 18.5, then you are underweight. But if your BMI is in between 18.5 and M, then it's like normal you're considered normal weight. And then if your BMI is more than or equals M, then is you are definitely overweight. Right? Okay, I understand so far so good. Now they say it is given that the probability for participant chosen has BMI less than 24 is 0.85. So I think I can write this information down. PX, let X represents the BMI. Less than 24 ma. And then the probability answer gives you 0.85. So this is how I will write the information. Okay, now I will try to do my A here. If 10 students from the class are selected, find the probability not less than 8, obtain body mass less than 24. Okay, this is actually a binomial distribution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even though this is normal, but the A is actually binomial. Let me tell you why. Because they give you the N and you have the probability of success and probability of failure. So I don't think when you do A, you need to use the mean and standard deviation, right? So the mean standard deviation, I will not use it for my A question. Because for my A question, it's actually a binomial. Because the N is 10, and then the probability of success will be what? So they want to find probability not less than 8 participant, BMI less than 24, right? Okay, don't look at the 8 first. Look at this first, less than 24. It means your probability of success is probability of BMI less than 24, which is 0.85. And then the probability of failure will be 0.15 because you take 1 minus 0.85 and your X will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, until 10. Okay, what does it mean by 10 0? It means out of the 10 students, zero success. It means 0% BMI less than 24, or maybe 1% or 2%, 3% until 10 lah. 10 means like all the 10 student success. All the 10 students have BMI less than 24, right? Success means BMI less than 24. Yeah, in this case, success means in this question, the success means when your BMI less than 24. Okay, now we can look at the 8. So they want you to find PX not less than 8. It means bigger or equals 8. Not less than 8, right? So you want the 8, 9, and 10. So I will find PX equals 8 plus PX equals 9 plus PX equals 10, right? So this is actually a no, binomial distribution question. That's why we no need to use the Z value table. And then what the mean standard deviation, we don't use it also, right? Yeah, okay. We don't need to convert to Z. Yeah, because this one actually is a binomial. So you don't need the Z value table. Okay, the formula we use is this formula. NCX, P power X, Q power M minus X. This is the formula that you learn under binomial distribution. All right, we use this formula when we want to find probability. Okay, so NCX, so it will be 10C8, and then bracket 0.85, another bracket 0.15. Okay, this power will be the same with the number down here. So 8, and then this power will be 10 minus atas, so 2 like that. Okay, the next one, 10C9, repeat the same thing, 0.85, 0.15, but this time is power 9, power 1, because 10 minus 9 is 1. Okay, last one is 10C10, and then 0.85 power 10, and then 0.15 power 0, because 10 minus 10 is 0. Okay, now I'll press calculator. Let's press the first one first. So what is 10C8? 10C8 times bracket 0.85 power 8 and then times again with 0.15 power 2. Okay, my calculator give me 12 point. Hey, why is it 12 point? Oh, I silap tekan. 10C8 times 0.85 power 8 and then times 0.15 power 2. Okay, my calculator give me 0.2759, right? But I still have to plus with this one. Okay, this one I press calculator. So 10C9 is 10 times 0.85 power 9 and then times with 0.15. Okay, my calculator give me 0.3474. Okay, for the last one, okay, 10C10 no need to press because the one is 1. 0.15 power 0.1, so just tekan 0.85 power 10. Okay, my calculator give me 0.19687, so 1969. Just write in 4 cm figure. Okay, finally, the last step, just tambah semua and then you will get your final answer. Okay, I'll use the answer button plus 0.3474 plus 0.2759. Okay, my calculator give me 0.8202. So that should be the answer. Okay, that should be the answer. Okay, now we can continue. Okay, so they want us to find probability. So this is the probability answer. Okay, done already. Hey, but they got give us the mean standard deviation, right? And we didn't end up using it. Okay, but it's okay. Maybe the next question we use it, right? Okay, so let's see. B1. A participant is chosen at random from the group. Find probability that the participant is in the underweight category. Yeah. This one is back to normal distribution already. Yeah, you need because they ask for probably underweight category, right? And the underweight category is PX less than 18.5. The X is BMI lah, eh? But you need to convert to Z value, right? So you need the mean standard deviation now. So the mean is 22.5, standard deviation 3.2. So let's write here. Mean equals 22.5, standard deviation equals 32, 3.2. Okay, so now I want to find the probability of underweight. So it means I am finding probability of BMI less than 18.5. In other words, it's PX less than 85. And the only way to do this is to convert to Z value and look at your Z value table. Okay, so first step is changing to Z, right? When you do normal distribution, the first step is always changing X to Z one. And the formula is take the X 18.5 minus mean 22.5 divide standard deviation 32. Okay, if you press this, you will end up with negative answer. Okay, let me press 18.5 minus 22.5 divide 32. Okay, my calculator give me negative 0. Like 6453. Okay, many decimal place. But I want you to write only 3 decimal place. So 0.645. Okay, why you only read 3 decimal place? Because later when you baca jadual, if you have the Z value, later you have to baca dari luar. It means you have to baca from the outside. And when you baca from the outside, you can only read until 3 decimal place. Here you can read the first decimal place. Here you read the second decimal place. Here you read 3 decimal place, right? But if you tengok dari dalam, if you baca dari dalam, then it's a different story. Because if you baca dari dalam, you can actually read until 4 decimal place, 5 decimal place even, right? But when you baca from the outside, it means if you have the Z value, you will always make it like 3 decimal place, right? That's why I write 3 decimal place. Okay, Z smaller negative 0.65. If you sketch out what it means, is basically okay. Negative 0.645 obviously is like on the left side, and if they say smaller means you lower it ke kiri lah. So this one you can actually change to PZ bigger positive 0.645. Smaller negative can change to bigger positive because this graph is symmetrical. So this area here and this area is same. Okay. So now we can go to the table already. Yeah, now we can go to the Z value table because it's already Z bigger positive. So we just have to go to the Z value table, cari 0.6 here, cari 4 here, and then cari 5 here, and then get these two value, right? Okay, so I will go to the Z value table now and cari 0.645. Okay, do we have the other one here? Uh, okay, yeah, it's given here, right? So let's try to find 0.645. So 0.645. So we need this one, and we also need this, right? So the answer will be 0.2611, but I have to tolak 16 dekat belakang. So 261116. Let's go back to the working space. 2611 wait, how much I forgot it. 2611 16. 261116, 261116, 261116. Okay, so come back here. So it will be 0.2611. Okay, 0.2611. And then here is 16, right? So what it means is this 16 you have to minus. But you don't minus like that. You don't press calculator like minus 16 like that. Don't. If you tekan like that, your calculator give you negative 15 point something. And it's wrong. When they say minus 16 is minus like take the last 3 digit minus 16. That's what it means. So when you take the last 3 digit, you have to press 611 minus 16. Right? So let's press. Okay, my calculator give me 595. And don't forget to write the 2 and then 595 like this. So this is your answer. The probability is 0.2595. Okay. Okay, wait, did anything wrong here? 18.5. Oh my god, I can't believe I did wrong. Careless mistake. Sorry. This is not 0.645. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. And this is also wrong. Okay, I silap tekan just now. So I end up with the wrong answer. So when you take 18.5 minus 22.5 divide 32, you will get negative 0.125. Okay, yeah, I did wrong just now. And then smaller negative can change to bigger positive. I already explained why just now because it's symmetrical. Okay, this area smaller negative is changed with the, like bigger positive. And then now I have to go jadwal and baca again, cari 0.125, right? Okay, so I will go back to the jadwal again, 0.125. All right, so this is the jadwal. 0.1 is here, 2 is here, 5 is here. So the answer I'm looking is this one, 0.4522 and 20. 0.4522, 20. 4522, 20. 4522, 20. 4522, 20. 4522, 20. So 4522, 20. So this value is 0.4522. This value is 20. It means I have to tolak 20, but take the last two digit. So it'll be 0.4502. Yeah, did I did wrong again? 15.5. 0.125. Betul lah. Negative 0.125, right? And then bigger than 18.5. Oh my god, this one is 3.2. Sorry, I made mistake one more time. You second time, two time I did wrongly. Okay, so sorry, so sorry. This one is 3.2. I write 32. 18.5 minus 22.5. Answer divide 3.2. Okay, so sorry. Let me correct myself. This one is negative 1.25. Okay, and then smaller negative 1.25 can change to bigger positive 1.25 because symmetrical. Okay, now I can go to the Z value table, cari 1.25. Okay, if there's only two decimal place, if your Z value only have two decimal place, then you don't need this. You don't need to look at this. You just look at 1.25 and then this one straight away is the answer already. So let's go look for it. 1.25. So 1.25 is here. 1.2 and then 5 is here, right? Yeah, 5. So this is your answer, 0.1056. You don't have to tolak anything because it's only two decimal place. So the answer is 1.056, 0.1056. Yeah, that's all. So that's it already. Okay. All right. So let's write down here 0.1056. Okay, this is the answer, the probability answer. Okay, let's continue and do the second question, B2. Okay, it is given that 67.7%. Okay, if they give you percentage means they're trying to give you probability. And the probability here is 0.677. How you convert is just divide 100 lah. Because percentage means over 100. So when you divide 100, you get this. So this is actually the probability of what? Of participant in the normal category. So they give you the probability in normal category already 0.677. And then they say represent the situation by sketching the standard normal distribution graph and express the shaded region in probability notation. Hence, find the value of M. So they ask us to sketch, right? And not only they ask us to sketch, they also ask us to find the value of M. Okay, I think I have to go back and see the normal, normal category is what BMI. So for normal category is for BMI in between 18.5 and M. So it means this 0.67 is actually probability of X in between 18.5 and M. Oh, another thing I want to mention, in normal distribution, this line is not important. Yeah, the line is not important. Okay, but since they got put the line, then I just follow saja lah, right? So this is how you write in, like write the probability. Okay, probability of this one 0.677. Okay, now I have to do what? Now I have to convert to Z value. Okay. It means later when you tengok jadual for this question, you cannot, nanti bila you baca jadual, you tak boleh baca dari luar. You cannot tengok dari luar, you have to tengok dari dalam. Because you don't have the Z value later, but you have the probability. It means you already have the answer, the probability answer. So you cannot tengok dari dalam. You have to straight away cari dari dalam, and your answer will be at the outside. Okay, make sense, because the probability they give already, they are not asking you to find probability. Okay, they ask you to cari balik M, right? Okay, it's okay. Let's convert to Z value first. So 18.5 minus 22.5 divided 3.2. Just now you press already is negative 1.25, and then this one becomes Z, and then this one becomes M minus mean, which is 22.5 over the 3.2. And I want to mention again, in normal distribution, this line is not important. But kalau dia ada, I letak saja lah. But it's not that important actually, because normal distribution memang tak penting pun. This line memang tak penting. Okay, I realize that this thing I cannot do this in my calculator because I don't know the value of M. So I don't know what's the what happens here, right? But it's okay because I have the answer, so I can cari balik. So the method is you have to let C equals the whole thing here, m minus 22.5 3.2. This is how I teach my student. And then now you write down the whole thing again, but this time you replace with C. So it becomes Z in between negative 1.25 and C equals to 0.677. And I always teach my student, if you don't know your C positive or negative, you have to sketch your graph 2 times and see whether your C is positive or negative. But actually you don't need, you know it's positive already. Because if they write in between, if they write Z in between negative 1.25 and C, it means the Z has to be bigger than negative 1.25 but smaller than C. It means C was definitely bigger than negative 1.25. But you can't guarantee it's like positive or negative, right? So yeah, that's another issue. But hmm, represent the situation by sketching the standard normal distribution and express the shaded region in probability notation. Okay, tak apa, let's sketch first lah. Let's sketch. Okay. Okay, so this is the Z, and then this one is the FZ. Okay. Okay, now they got two value. One is negative 1.25. All right. Okay, the other one, we don't know, right? We don't know. But okay, wait, let me think. 22.5. Okay, let's just assume it's positive lah, because we don't know, right? Yeah, we don't know whether this thing is like this C is positive or negative. So if we assume it's positive, then the C will be here, right? It means assuming your M is bigger than 32.5. Wait, does it make sense? Your M is okay, it can be smaller also, right? It can be like 20 also possible. Like we never know, right? Okay, but it's okay lah. Let's just assume if it's like positive, right? If it's positive. And then the shaded region, the 0.677 will be like this area right here. Oh, the C must be positive lah, guys. Because if the C is negative, yeah, then it doesn't make sense already. Because if the C is negative, then the area cannot be more than 0.5. Right? It doesn't make sense. If it's 0.677, because the total probability for the whole thing is 1. And then the half of it is 0.5. So I don't think your C can be negative. Because if your C is negative, it means it's somewhere here. And the area here, it doesn't make sense if to be like, apa, dia tak ada logic kalau area sini more than 0.5. So your C is definitely positive, right? So this is how you sketch, right? This is how you sketch, right? And the shaded region area is this shaded region. So they say represent the situation by sketching the standard and express shaded region, and yeah, this one lah. And I already expressed, So now we can try to do the find the value of M, right? The last part, right? Okay, so how to find value of M? Okay, when your shaded region already cross over to the other side of the y-axis, I always tell my student you have to take 1 minus, because the total probability is 1. So you minus yang you tamau, which is this one and this one lah. So 1 minus what? 1 minus the probability, or you can say the area of region for Z smaller than negative 1.25, right? Because you don't want this part, you don't want. That's why you find it out so that you can minus, you can buangkan dia. Same with this side also. I don't want this side, so the side you don't want is PZ bigger because it's on the right side of C, and then equals 0.677 lah. You don't want it, that's why you try to find it and then try to minus it. Okay, PZ minus smaller negative 1.25 can change to PZ bigger positive 1.25, and you know the answer already because just now you baca already, is 0.1056. But for this one, PZ bigger C, you will this one later you will write like this first, right? And then you will start to pindah. How to pindah? The PZ bigger C, you will pindah like this so that it becomes positive. And then here you will press 1 minus 0.1056 and then minus 0.677. So let's press 1 minus 0.1056 and then minus 0.677. Okay, my calculator give me 0.2174. And now finally you can butcher your uh Z value table. Okay. But after I butcher, I still have to do more. I still have to find my M, right? So let's make some space here. Okay, so now I will go to my table and I have to baca dari dalam because you don't have Z value, right? You don't have Z value now. So you have to go dalam, but you have the answer for property. So you have to go dalam here and you have to find 0.2174 ataupun lebih sikit. Okay, you cari 0.2174 or lebih sikit. Okay, so let's go and look for it now. 0.2174 or lebih sikit. So this is the Z value table. Okay, 0.2222174. So okay, here. This one lah, 2177. Okay, this one cannot because this one 48 is sudah kurang daripada 2174. So I want this 2177. Okay, how to make sure my 2177 become 2174? I have to minus 3, right? So let's look for 3 in this here. So you have 3 here. And where, so your answer would be on the outside. So your answer would be what? Your answer would be 0.781. Okay? Yeah, this is your answer. 0.781. And that's the M answer, right? So now you can go back and write 0.781. Okay? But it's still not the final answer yet. That is just the C. So 0.781 and it's positive because you already know the C is positive. But if the C is negative, then you remember to put the negative. Okay, now we can put in my C. Don't forget, just now my C is actually M minus 22.5 over 3.2 equals 0.781. So now you can find your M, right? So M actually is a BMI. So boleh ada decimal one. Okay, let's press first. Times 3.2 plus 22.5. Okay, my calculator give me 24.999. Okay lah, 25 lah. If it's like 24.999 then is if you write in four significant figure, it's like 25.00. So it's like basically 25, right? And M actually represents the BMI, right? Yeah, the BMI. Okay, so yeah, that's the answer. Okay. So full mark 10 marks. Okay, I think I did everything already. So yeah, that's all. Okay, number 10, let's do this question. This one is a vector question. So when you are doing vector, labeling is very important. So let's read and label first. Diagram 10 shows the position of object RSTUVW were placed following a certain arrangement. Let's go. RSTUVW. Okay, betul. Distance between RST will form a triangle. Where is it? Check tengok. RST will form a triangle. Okay, boleh. SV equals 304 ST. Okay, this information trying to tell us the ratio. So let me tell you how to read this. As if they say SV 304 ST, this 4 you can bring it. You can bring it here, and then it becomes 4 SV equals 3 ST. And how to butcher this kind of ratio? I always tell my student you have to be like a rainbow. It's like a rainbow format. So the SV ratio is 3, ST is 4. Saya tak mau tengok ada yang baca SV4 salah. Tak boleh baca macam ni. It has to be like baca macam ni. SV3, ST4. So SV is here, so 3. And then ST, the ratio is 4. But you don't write 4 here. This one is not ST, this one is VT. ST is the whole thing 4. So 4 minus 3, this one is 1. Okay. Okay, I know some teachers, they will teach like convert to fraction and then convert to ratio. And then like this. Okay, can also lah. Can also. Okay, but it's a bit slow, right? Usually I teach my student, usually I want my student to be able to baca fast. That's why I just tell them like just make it into like this format and then just baca like dalam baca dengan dalam, luar baca dengan luar. Okay. Okay, so SV3, ST4. So this one is 1. Okay, next one. RS is 6M. So let's label this. This is a vector. So the arrow have to point to S, 6M. When you label vector, always put the arrow one. Okay, RT is 18N. So the arrow have to point to T because it's R to T and then 18N. Okay, can I find vector ST? Yes. Just take SR plus RT because you have the vector SR RT already. And the A question 1 memang suruh you cari ST. So very easy lah. Just do SR vector plus RT vector. Okay, SR vector. Okay, RS is 6M. So what is SR? Negative 6M because it's opposite direction. And then plus RT is just plus 18N. And that's your answer. Okay. So it's quite easy. Yeah, memang when you do vector question, the A mesti senang one. But when it's B and C, that is when student tak boleh buat for the part B, part C. Usually part A senang one. Vector memang senang part A. Okay, let's do the second question. RV. RV is from here to here. So I think I have to jalan RT plus TV. Right? RT plus TV. Or you want to jalan RS plus SV boleh juga. Okay, you will get the same answer. So just choose either one lah. Okay, I will do RS plus SV lah. So what is vector RS? 6m. So masuk saja. And then what is vector SV? Oh yo, I don't have. But it's okay because I have the ratio. And also I know that the SV is a part of ST. I repeat, SV adalah sebahagian daripada ST. Do you agree? SV is a part of ST. So can you tell me SV is how many portion? 3 portion out of 4 portion, right? Because total S to V is 3 portion, but the total portion here is 4. And it's part of ST. So it means SV adalah 3 over 4 ST lah. And you have the vector ST. Yeah, the vector ST, you find it here already. So you just salin yang ni saja. Negative 6m plus 18n, just masukkan saja. Alright, now you can find your vector. Okay, 3 over 4 times negative 6 is negative 3 times 6, 18 over 4, 9 over 2m. And then 18 times 3 divide 4. Use calculator lah. Okay, so let me press what my calculator give me. 18 times 3 divide 4. Okay, 27 over 2. Yeah, so you would just write 27 over 2n. And then don't forget there's 6m here. Okay, m dengan m boleh buat. So what is 6m minus 2? 9 over 2. Okay, 6 times 2, 12. 12 minus 9, 3 over 2m. And then don't forget to plus with 27 over 2n. And that's the answer lah. So your answer is 3 over 2n plus 27 over 2n. Okay, sudah siap part A. 3 marks. No problem. Now we can do B. Okay, when you do vector question, the B question will use the answer in A. It means your A answer will use in B, and then your B answer will use in C, and so on. Okay, but let's read the question first. It says, given RU is DRV. Okay, this information you cannot label it because they never give you the D. It's not like this one. Like this one you can label is because they give you the value here, like 3 over 4. Then you can label the ratio, right? But if it's like this, you can't label because you don't know the D. But it's okay. Let's just write down first. And then TU, they give us something like this, where D and E are constant. Find the values of D and E. Okay, so let's write down the TU vector, which is E, this one, right? Okay, if I am you, I'll just expand it. Like just expand it. So 2EM minus 7en, right? Okay, they want to find values of D and E. It means you want your equation have D and E in one equation. In vector, if they ask you to find D and E, it means they want D and E in one equation. In one equation, all right, so how can we make D and E in one equation? If you look at this diagram, there is no D and E. The only place that have D and E is here and here. So you need to think about how to connect these two equations into one equation. And the cara dia senang saja. You just look at this. This is RU, this is TU. So what is the connection? RU, TU. The connection here is RT. The missing line here is RT. Because the RU jalan and the TU jalan, the missing jalan here is RT, right? So it becomes RU equals to RT plus TU like this. Okay. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? So that my RU now I can replace with DRV. And then later my TU I can replace with 2EM minus 7EN. Okay. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? Because I want my D and E to be in one equation. Tengok, saya sudah berjaya jadikan DE dalam satu equation. This is what I want. When in vector memang macam tu kan. If they want to find D and E or A and C or M and N or whatever lah, you always try to make sure all the unknowns, like you, how to say, letak dalam satu equation, right? So now for this missing line RT, you have to masukkan lah. And the RT is given here is 18N, so you can just write it like this. And then don't forget this DRV. Okay, RV you can tiru from here because you already do at A, so it's this one. Okay, I want to do fast. I straight away take the D times with this. So when you times, you get 3 over 2 dm. Okay, 3 over 2 dm. And then plus 27 over 2 dn. Okay, later you will need to compare this side of the vector with the other side, right? So it's better to factorize this one. So the 2em I will write first. And then this one and this one, they both have n. So I will separate the vector n like this. So you get 18 minus 7e. In vector chapter, I always recommend students to write your answer like this, like 1M, 1N. Okay, don't write like this, because in vector you compare a lot. So it's not good if you write it like this. Okay. Okay. Now we can compare. Take out the m coefficient and then take out the m coefficient on both sides and then just compare them together. So 3 over 2d equals 2e. And then take out the n coefficient and then compare with the other one. So it becomes 27 over 2d equals to 18 minus 7e. Okay, both these equations have two unknowns. So I think you have to do simultaneous. So you can either use substitution method, penggantian, or penghapusan method. So what we can do here, let's see. Uh, I can try to find E, right? I can try to find E single like this. Okay, means I use the substitution method, penggantian cara lah. So when I try to find E, I have to take this one divide 2. So it becomes 3 over 2 divide 2, which is 3 over 4D. And I will sub this inside this E, right? And then I can find my D already. So now it becomes 27 over 2D equals to 18 minus 7E. So my E is 3 over 4D. Okay. Okay. What is 7 times 3 over 4? So you get 18 minus 7 times 3 is 21 over 4D. And then on this side is 27 over 2D. Okay. Okay, now I will press calculator. The 18 I will leave it like this. The minus 21 over 4 I move jadi plus. And then D dengan D boleh tambah kan? D dengan D memang boleh buat. So what is 27 over 2? Press calculator. Plus 21 over 4. Okay, my calculator give me 75 over 4. But don't forget to write D. And now you can find your D. Just take 18 times 4 divide 75. 18 times 4 and then divide 75. Okay, I get my answer already, 24 over 25. But I still need to sub inside back here to find E. So my E will be 3 over 4D. And my D I sudah tahu 24 over 25. Okay, so I can potong atas bawah. So you get 6 here. So your E will be 18 over 25. Okay, I think I'm done. This is my D answer. This is my E answer. Okay. Alright. Sudah siap. Okay, now we can continue to the next part. Part C. So part C says given RW is this such that G is constant, find value of G. Okay, let's write down first. No need to write down. Let's look at the diagram. Where is RW first? Okay, where's RW? Oh, I see it. RW is actually this garisan. And they say this vector is how much? Gm plus 2n. And then such that G is constant, find value of G. Okay, this one, you can see that RW got passes through U and V, right? And they only give us one vector here. So what I will do now is I will find another vector that is parallel to RW, right? I repeat one more time. RW vector is given, right? So what I will do now is I will find another vector that is parallel to RW, and then I will take these two vector equal and then letak lambda. Because in vector, you learn it before. When you have two vectors that are parallel, contoh if AB and CD parallel, then you can take them equal and then letak lambda macam ni. Or you want to letak K or whatever alphabet you want, can also lah. Yeah. So this question, you will do it like this, right? Yeah, this question, you will do like this. So can you name me another vector that is parallel to RW? RU lah. Yeah, RU is parallel to RW, right? Or you can also say RV. Or you can also say UV, right? But if you smart, you will take RV because RV is already, you find it already. It's like, you see, it's like you find it just now already. So I'll just write RV and 3 over 2n plus 27 over 2n. And since both these vectors are parallel, you can take these two vector and then just sama dengan, they both can equal, right? But you have to tambah lambda lah. Okay, or tambah like tambah a constant. Okay, the RW vector is GM plus 2n, and then this lambda RV you straight away times inside, you end up with, okay, I'll do fast. I will straight away times inside. So lambda times 3 over 2, 3 over 2 lambda m, and then plus 27 over 2 lambda n. And now you will compare, right? Just compare the coefficient, right? Okay, when you compare the coefficient of m, it will be G. On the other side, what is the coefficient of m? 3 over 2 lambda. Okay, now for the coefficient of n, 2 equals to 27 over 2 lambda. Okay, I can find lambda first, then sub inside here, right? So 2 times 2, 4 over 27. And then ganti masuk here, G equals 3 over 2 times 4 over 27. 3 atas bawah boleh potong, so 9, so it becomes, this one also can potong 2. So the answer is 209. That is my G answer. All right. Okay, there is a faster way to do it. Another method to do it is like, if two vectors are parallel, you straight away take the coefficient bahagi coefficient, and then coefficient bahagi coefficient, and then equals. So the fast way is like this. Straight away take G bahagi 3/2 equals to 2 bahagi 27/2. If you do like that, you'll get the same answer, right? Okay, 2 bahagi 27/2 means 2 times 27/2 lah. And then the divide 3/2 move up, become times 3/2. And believe me, if you press all this, you'll get the same answer, 209. Yeah, because imagine this one cut, and then 27 times 3, uh, wait. This one times 2/27. Yeah, I made a mistake here. Because 2 divide 27/2 means 2 times 2/27. Yeah. And then don't forget to times 3/2. So that's why this one and this one cut, and then this one cut. So yeah, you left with 209, which is the exact same answer as this. Maksudnya ada dua cara untuk buat lah. Okay, but in the textbook, this is the textbook method. Okay, yeah, this is the textbook method, the lambda punya cara. Okay, but I want you to know both method. Yeah, because this method also is very useful. Okay, you can use this method to check your answer, right? Okay, so yeah, that's all. Sudah habis. Okay, let's do number 11. It is given that the curve y equals this one passes through point uh S57 and has a turning point at L. Okay, if you see the word turning point means you will do dy dx equals 0. So if later they got asked you to find point L, then you just do dy dx equals 0. If they ask for point L, then only you do that, right? Okay, so now they ask for value of k. So question A, how to find value of k? Okay, I think I'll just do it up here. All right, so how to find value of k? Okay, first is they never ask to find maximum the turning point, so I will not do dy dx equals 0, right? They just ask to find value. Okay, so I think what you need to do is sub the xy inside, right? Sub the xy inside. So y equals negative x squared plus kx plus 12. If you want to find k, you just need the x and y, right? You just need the x and the y to find the k. But you need to sub the xy with the point yang ada passes through lah, which is 5, 7. Okay, so the y you sub 7 and then the x sub 5. Okay, you will end up with 7 equals negative 25 because 5 square, and then plus 5k plus 12. And then now you end up with 7 equals negative 25 plus 12 is negative 13 plus 5k. And then 5k equals to 7 plus 13, which is 20k equals 4. Okay, so now you know your k is 4. Okay, A sudah siap, satu markah. B asks you to find gradient of tangent to the curve at point S. Okay, how do we find gradient of tangent? We do dy dx. Okay, but let's write our y first. Negative x squared plus kx, but you know the k is 4, so write 4x plus 12. So how to find gradient of tangent is you find dy dx. So what is differentiate negative x squared? Negative 2x. Differentiate means you have to take the power, darab nombor depan, and then power minus 1. Okay, next one is differentiate 4x, which is plus 4. Okay, this one we call it the GF, gradient function. Okay, it's not gradient tangent yet. We call it the gradient function. And how to get gradient tangent? You need to sub in the x coordinate of the tangent point. So in this case, the tangent point is point S. That means the x coordinate will be 5. So your gradient tangent will be negative 2 times 5 plus 4. And the moment you sub in the 5, you you will get the gradient tangent. Yeah. Okay, negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. But this is the gradient tangent. And is that what they want? Gradient tangent. So yeah, sudah siap already. So that's the answer for B. Okay. Okay, now I want to do for C here. So C asks to find equation of normal to the curve at point S. Okay, it means it's still point S. It means that we can actually use this, right? But they want equation of normal. If they want equation of normal, you need gradient of normal. And your gradient of normal at point S will be 1/6. Because tangent and normal is always perpendicular to each other. And when two lines are perpendicular, m1 times m2 equals negative 1. All right, m1 times m2 equals negative 1. And you already have one of the gradient, negative 6, right? It means your m1 is negative 6. So how to get your m2? You just take negative 1, divide negative 6. That is why I write 1/6. Okay? Okay, but it's not over yet. They asked for equation of normal. You already get the gradient normal. Now you can find equation. Okay, in Addmaths, when you find equation, you will always use this formula. Y minus y1 equals gradient x minus x1. And since you are finding equation of normal, of course, the gradient you will put 1/6 lah, because that's the gradient of normal. And then for the x1, y1, you have to put point S, because you cannot use other points, right? You can only put points yang ada passes through saja. So if it's at point S, then it means it will pass through point S. So y minus y means y minus 7, because the y coordinate is 7. X minus x coordinate, the x coordinate 5, so minus 5. Okay, now you can expand this whole thing and then you will get the answer. Okay, take the 1 over 6 times x, 1 over 6x, 5 times 1 over 6, 5 over 6. Number dengan number boleh buat, so letak sekali 1 over 6x, minus 7 jadi plus 7. So you just press negative 5 over 6 plus 7. Okay, my calculator give me 37 over 6. So that is your answer. This is the equation of normal at point S. Okay, done. Now for my last question, part D. So part D says what? They want to find coordinates of turning point. Okay, it means point L lah. Yeah, it means they want to find point L. And just now I already mentioned how, right? Do dy dx equals 0. But then they say justify your answer by using sketching tangent method. Okay, later I'll talk about tangent sketching method. First, let's find the turning point first. Okay. Okay, let me explain a bit what is tangent sketching method first. Okay, let me tell you what is tangent sketching method. Tangent sketching method is a special method used to determine whether the turning point is maximum or minimum or inflection point. So let's talk about the turning point. Turning point dia ada tiga jenis tau. It can be maximum, it can be minimum, it can be inflection point, right? And how do we know which one it belongs, whether it's maximum, minimum, or inflection? Okay, if maximum, your second derivative will be lesser than negative. It will be smaller than 0. And if your second derivative d2y dx2 is positive, bigger than 0, then it's minimum. But what if your d2y dx2 is equals 0? Then we call it an inflection point, right? But this is by using the second derivative method. But this question, they want us to use the tangent sketching method, right? So later we cannot use the second derivative to determine which type of turning point. We have to use the tangent sketching method. And later I will teach you how to do the tangent sketching method. For now, let's find out the coordinate first, right? Let's worry about that later. Let's do the turning point first. So we will do dy dx equals 0 because turning point. All right. What is the dy dx answer? I think I can silent from here. Negative 2x plus 4. And then now you will find x, 4 equals 2x, x equals 2. And this is your x coordinate of the turning point. And how to find y? Just sub inside the y equation. So it becomes y equals negative bracket square plus 4 bracket plus 12. This one is 2, this one is 2. Okay, if you press all this in your calculator, you will get what? Negative 4 plus 8, 4 plus 12, 16. So now you have your point L. Point L is your turning point, 2, 16, right? So this is your turning point, point L. Okay, this is not the answer because they ask you to justify your answer using tangent sketching method. It means they want you to determine whether this point is minimum, maximum, or inflection point, but not using the second derivative method. They want you to use the tangent sketching method, right? But I want to tell you something first. Actually, you already know it's minimum or maximum. Actually, you already know because just by looking at this equation, you can tell already it's a quadratic and the a is negative. So definitely the shape look like this, like a set face, right? And if it's set face, it's definitely maximum. You don't need all this to know that it's maximum. You already know it's maximum, right? But since the question asks us to justify using the tangent sketching method, then you have to show the working for tangent sketching method. Otherwise, you won't get full mark, right? But I just want you to know that I already know, we all already know is maximum. We are just pretending we don't know because we have to show them the working to get full mark, right? Because that's what the question requests us to do the method, right? But we actually know already is maximum, right? Okay, now I'll show you the method. The method looks like this. You have to draw a table. Yeah, you have to draw a table. So I need some space right here. So let's make this smaller. Okay, so I will draw a table. So the table will look something like this, right? And for the table, you have to write some things here, right? So I'll draw a line. So the first thing you have to write here is x. Okay. The next line, you will write dy dx, or you can also say gradient tangent. Okay, it means you find out the gradient tangent at the specific x value. And then the next one, you will write the sign. Okay, the sign. Okay, sign. Ataupun like the thunder lah. like whether it's positive or negative. Eh? The sign of gradient, sign, I'll just write sign of gradient tangent lah. Okay, next one is you will write tangent sketching. Okay, so tangent sketch, right? And then the last one, the last column, you write graph sketching. Graph sketch. Okay, so this is the table. Now we will start to draw a line here. Okay, but I will only draw until here, and then this one also draw until here. Okay, now it's time to do the graph sketching method. So the method looks like this. You need to draw a table, and then what you are basically doing is you will try to take, okay, you know the turning point is 216. It means when the x is 2, the gradient tangent is 0, and the sign will be, there's no sign lah, 0, there's no positive, negative, right? And the tangent sketch will be like this. It will be a straight line. Okay, so this one I should just like just cross it out lah. Yeah, like this one, this box is like just leave it, okay? Or just like just write 0 lah, just write 0. Yeah, just write 0 because 0 dia tak ada positive negative, right? So just write 0. And we all know when the gradient tangent is 0, the when any line, okay, if a line gradient is 0, then it's the horizontal line. Okay, you should know that, huh? So that's why the tangent sketch like this. But what about this column and this column? Okay, the tangent sketching method, you will do it by taking a value before 2 and after 2, and then you can predict, like you can predict whether it's maximum minimum just by looking the tangent line before the turning point and after the turning point. Make sense? So for example, if your your tangent line before the turning point is like this, then it's maximum lah. But what if it's before the tangent line is like this, then it's minimum, right? Because you can see that the tangent line before like this go down and then go up, so it's minimum lah, right? But what if it's like this? What if it's like this, like this, like this? Okay, if it's like this, it's an inflection point. Yeah, it's inflection point, right? Yeah, like this is inflection point where it's like going down, 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 right? Okay, but it's okay. First I will show you first the working. So you will take a value before 2, but you can take any value you can take any value you want, any value, right? So 2 before 2 I can take 1, and this one I can take 3 lah. Okay, but it's tak semesti ah. You can take any value you want. You want to take 1.5 also can, or like anything lah. Just take a value that is near to 2 before 2, and then this one after 2. Okay, when the x is 1, what would be the dy dx? It will be negative 2 times 1 plus 4. And you will get 2, right? And 2 is positive. So the sign is positive. That means when your gradient positive, the line will go up like this, right? What if it's 3? Negative 2 times 3 plus 4, which is negative 2. And this one is negative. Negative line, the gradient look like this. So the tangent line after the turning point is like this, but the tangent line before like this. So when you sketch the graph, you can predict the movement. It will definitely be like this because the f- the first tangent line is like this, second is like this, third is like this. So the shape, you can predict the shape. So the shape is like this, and that's how you know it's a maximum point. Okay, because it's like go up and then flat and then go down. So it's maximum point. So justify your answer by using scissors. So I'll just write 216 is a maximum point. Okay, 216 is a turning point, but to be more specific, it's a maximum point. Okay. So this is how you do the graph sketching method. Okay. So remember, if one day your tangent sketching looks like this, like this, like this, like this, then it's not a minimum, maximum already. This one we call it inflection. Okay, inflection point. Okay, it means your second derivative is exactly equal 0 lah. Okay, but if they want you to use graph sketching method, you should show this thing to them. You should draw the table. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. That's all. Okay, now I want to do bahagian C. Bahagian C mengandungi 4 soalan, jawab 2 soalan. Okay, I will jawab 3 soalan. Right? It means I will jawab all the soalan except the kinematic. So number 12 is kinematic, so I won't do this. Right? But the 13, 14, 15, I will jawab. Yes. Okay, it means I will jawab 3 soalan lah. Okay. But in exam, you only choose 2. But I will do 3. When I do revision, I will revise 3 so that you have a backup lah. Okay, number 13. Diagram 13 shows the position of Tina's house, a mosque, and Nurul house. So this is the position. Okay, no problem. The position of the tree forms a triangle. Okay, I can tell this is a solution of triangle, Christian. Definitely. Because in section C, confirm mesti ada satu solution of triangle, Christian one. So this one is definitely solution of triangle. Okay, 50, 70, 90, and then other angles ini. Okay, I can see there's a one complete pair. So we can actually use sine rule to find this angle. Because when you okay, the when can we use sine rule? When we have the opposite of what we want to find and one complete pair, right? That is why I said you can use sine rule to find this angle. But is that what they want? I don't know. Let's see. So A, they say find distance between Tina's house and Nurul house. So Tina and Nurul, it means they want to find this panjang here, right? Okay, how to find this panjang here? You have to, you cannot find directly. Yeah, you cannot find this panjang directly. You have to use sine rule to find this angle first. I know the question never asked me to find this, but you need to find this. Because after you find this, you can take 180 minus this to get yang atas. And then only you use sine rule one more time to find the distance here. It means you have to use sine rule dua kali. Baru dapat. Okay? Okay, some student will say, hey, sir, what if I use cosine rule to find this? Cannot also. It doesn't work because you need this angle also. Yeah, because cosine rule is like a square equals b square plus c square minus 2b equals a. But you need to make sure you need to have the angle, this angle. Then only you can try to find the side in front of the angle. So it means like there's no other way lah. You need to find this angle first so that you can take 180 minus to get angle atas. Yeah, it means you need the angle atas here no matter what, right? Okay, let's find the angle here first at the rumah Tina. So it will be sine. Okay, let's call this x for now. So just call it sine x over, okay, the opposite will be 70 equals the complete pair. Okay, but write the sine angle atas lah. Sine 50.69 over 90. Okay, now I can find my x. Just tekan all these things. Sine 50.69 bahagi 90 times 70. Okay, my calculator give me 0.6018, but you have to tekan shift sign answer. Okay, when you tekan shift sign, there's actually two answer, but your calculator will only give you the quadrant one answer. Okay, in my case, it gives me 36 degree 59 minute, but actually you have to write 37 degree because if it's 59 minute, but belakang is like 53.47. Okay, if belakang here more than 30, you have to plus one here, right? And if here is 60, here you have to plus 1. So if you tengok betul-betul 59 plus 1 is 60. That's why I write 37, right? But I want you to know that when you tekan shift sign, sebenarnya ada dua jawapan. There's one more answer, which is 180 minus 37, right? But I will not write the other answer because I know this x cannot, is definitely less than 90 degree. So this is the correct answer already. But it's not always like that. That's why you have to be careful. In exam, after you tekan shift sign, make sure you double check, is it a acute angle or obtuse angle? If it's acute angle, then straight away take the first quadrant answer. If it's obtuse angle, take 180 minus. Okay. But this one confirm 37 is betul already because that's the, because this is acute angle. Okay, now it's time to find the angle atas, right? Because the angle atas will help me find the angle, find the distance here, right? Okay, so let's label first. This one is 37. Okay, how to find this angle? Just take 180 minus 37 minus 50.69. Okay, let me press now. My calculator give me, okay, wait. Okay, I'm pressing my calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 92.31 degrees, right? Actually, you want to write in degree minute also can, up to you. All right. So 92.31 degrees. Okay, now we can find the distance between Tina and Nurul house. So this is the one, right? Okay, I'll just call this Y for now. Okay, how to find the panjang here? You can use sine rule. You can also use cosine rule. But if you can choose, of course, you choose the sine rule lah, because the sine rule is much more simple. So I will use the sine rule. So you are finding panjang, right? So the panjang, I will try to make it atas so that senang pindah nanti. So y over the opposite sine 92.31 equals to the complete pair. And for the complete pair, I will take either one lah. Both pair also can work. Let's take the 90 and 4.69 lah. So 90 over 50.69 degrees. Okay, now I can find my y. Just press everything. Oh, I forgot to write sign here. Sorry. Okay, so just tekan 90 dy 90 divide sine 50.69 uh, darab dengan sine 92.31. Okay, my calculator give me 116.225, so 23 lah. If I write in two decimal place, it's 23. Okay, don't forget this is distance and it will be in meters because everything is in meter, right? So this will come out in meter also. Okay, another method is by using cosine rule, but you will get the same answer. But if you use cosine rule, you have to write y square equals to 90 square plus 70 square minus 2 times 90 times 70 times cos 92.31. Can also. Okay, can also. Okay, but I never do it like that because the side because I realize this method is like fast. You can get it like you can get the answer faster if you do it like this, right? Okay, let's uh label here also because later maybe the next question you need this panjang, right? So it's better to label it now. Okay, now we can scroll down and do B. Okay, let's read. Nurul will move to a new house. Okay, so where's Nurul? This one Nurul. She will move to a new house. The distance between Tina's house and the mosque, as well as the angle formed between mosque, Tina's house, and Nurul's house, did not change. Calculate the distance between Tina's house and Nurul's new house so that only one triangle is formed. Okay, I think this is a ambiguous case, but I'm not too sure because I never read carefully the first time. Let's read carefully again. Distance between Tina and mosque. So Tina and mosque. Tina is here. The wait, what? Nurul will move to new house. Okay. The distance between Tina's house and mosque never change. Okay, and then the angle formed between the mosque also never change. Oh, so this the 92.31 cannot change. Is that what they mean? Sudut yang terbentuk antara masjid. Oh, no, 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 no. The angle formed between mosque, Tina, and Nurul. Mosque, Tina, and Nurul. So I think it's the 37 lah. Did not change. Okay, so which one cannot change? This jarak here, Tina and mosque, and also the angle between mosque, Tina, this one also cannot change. Calculate the distance between Tina's house and Nurul's new house. Okay, the Tina and the Nurul house is 116.23, but this one is the old distance. Now the new distance, there's a new distance because the Nurul got new house, right? And then so that one, okay, so yeah lah, I think confirm already. This one is ambiguous case. Yeah, ambiguous case. So as you can see, this line is shorter, 70, right? Compared to this one is 90. So definitely there will be ambiguous case. And then tambahan pula, this angle is less than 90. So yeah, there will be ambiguous case, and the ambiguous case will be like this. So this is the old Nurul house, but you want this angle to be maintained. So you cannot so the Nurul house will move in this way. It will go like this and then until it reach here, right? And the distance here will be 70 also. It will form a isosceles triangle 70. And you can see that the 90-meter never change because they want the condition, they want this to be maintained, right? This distance. And then this angle also never change, right? The only thing change is the triangle shape, right? So the new triangle form is this one, is this triangle, right? So now they want to find what? Distance between Tina and Nurul's new house. So this is Nurul's new house lah. This one. This one is the new house for Nurul. Okay, so how to find the distance here? The distance between here and here. Okay, we know the whole distance is 116.23. So how to get this? Let me think. Okay, let's start by labeling the isosceles because this is 50.69, this is 50.69 also. And you can find the other side here, just take 180 minus. So 180 minus 50.69. I press calculator. Okay, I get 129.31. So let me erase and okay, so this one is 37 and then this one is 129.31, right? And how to find the distance down here? Can I get the angle atas and then use sine rule? Boleh kan? So yeah, you can actually find the angle here. Sorry, you can find the panjang here by using sine rule, right? But you need the angle opposite, which is this angle right here. How to get this angle? Just take 180 minus 37 minus 129.31. Okay, let's do that. 180 minus this one and then minus 37. Okay, my calculator give me 13.69. So this small angle up here is 13.69. And why I find this angle is because I'm trying to find the side opposite to this angle, this one. So now I can use sine rule. Okay, just use the red color triangle. Okay, so the B working, I'll do it here. Use sine rule. So it will be this distance. Let's call it. Okay, I already have XY. What should I call it? Let's call it K lah for now. Just call it K. So the K is the distance from here to here. So it will be K over sine what? Okay, the opposite will be the opposite angle is sine 13.69 equals to the complete pair. The complete pair you can take 3770 or you can take this pair also can 9129.31. Okay, let's take 3770. So it'll be 70 atas, sine 37 bawah. Okay, now you can find your K. Just tekan lah. 70 divide sine 37 times sine 13.69. Okay, my calculator give me 27.528, right? So that's my answer. So I'll just write 27.53 and I'll write meters. Okay, so that's the answer, right? Calculate the distance. Hitung jarak rumah Tina dengan rumah baru supaya hanya satu segitiga yang terbentuk. So yeah, I think this is the answer. Okay, I'm looking at the schema. I don't know why the schema they give different answer and they do it using cos. So let me think. Cos. Okay, my answer is not same with the schema. So I'm trying to think whether saya salah or the schema salah. Cos 37. Um 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 uh, so Nurul will move to the new house. Distance between Tina and Moss and the Moss as well change. So the if the you want the angle here change, then the Albergus case would be here lah. It's definitely here one. Yeah, this is definitely correct already, right? Okay, I think I'll just stick to my answer lah. Okay, I think yeah, I'll just stick to my working. Okay, I don't want to follow the schema, right? Okay, but if I did anything wrong, you can leave a comment and tell me, right? Because sometimes I made mistake also. Okay, but for now I will just stick to my working and I will just continue to see. Okay, see, this says find area bounded by Nurul's house, mosque, and the new Nurul's house. So I think they're asking you to find the area of the red color triangle, which is this one lah. Okay, very easy. Just use the formula 1/2 AB sine C, right? So one area 1/2 AB sine C. And for the AB, you need to muscle two sides, and then C is the included angle. For the two side, you can choose any two side because you have all three sides. Let's use 90 and 70. All right. And then for the included angle, it will be the angle in between 90 and 70, which is the 13.69. So I'll just write 13.69. And now I can press all this in my calculator and then I will get my answer. So 90 times 70 times sine 13.69 and then divide 2. Okay, my answer is 745.51. And it's in meter square because everything is in meter, right? Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's continue with question number 14. 14 is a linear programming question. So you need graph paper for this. So let's read. Use a graph paper to answer this question. Okay, we know that. And then they says a tour boat operator provides X trips to island P and Y trips to island Q each day based on the following constraint. Okay, the way I teach my student is always write down. So if they tell you XY, if they tell you what the XY represents, you should write it down. So we have X trips to island P. So I'll just write island P and then island Q, right? So for island P is X, for island Q is Y, and what the XY represents is the number of trips. Okay, the number of trips, right? Okay, and then they give you 1, 2, 3 here. And then A, they want you to write three inequalities other than X greater than 0, Y greater than 0, which satisfy all the given constraint. So soalan A, I have to write three inequality. First one I'll write here, and then second one, and then third one. Okay, let's make this like this. Okay, so now we have space. All right, now we can read the first first one. So the first one says what? The total number of trips provided is not more than 14. Not more than means smaller or equals. And since they never say which island, it means total both lah. So x plus y cannot more than 14. So x plus y less than or equals 14. Right? Okay, that's the first one. Next one, let's read. The number of trip to island P is not more than. So not more than means smaller or equals 3 times the number of Q. Okay, number of trip to island P, we use X to represent island P, right? So X. And then they say not more than 3 times island Q. Not more than 3 times Q. So less than or equals 3 island Q is Y. So that's the second one. Okay, for my last one, the fare per trip to island P is 60 ringgit, Q is 30 ringgit, and then the total fare collected is more than 480. That means I can, they give you another information here is the fare per trip. So the fare one per trip to island P is 60 ringgit. But imagine if you go X amount of trips, so it'll be 60X lah. And this one is the fare, okay, is the RM, right? Okay, and then now for the trip to Island Q, per trip to Island Q is 30 ringgit per trip. But if you imagine if you go like 10,000 trips, then it will be 10,000 times 30, right? And if you go like 20 trip, it will be 20 times 30. But now you are going Y. The number of trips is Y. So that's why it's 30Y lah. So the total fare will be 60X plus 30Y. And they mentioned about less than, right? The total fare, oh, sorry, more than. The total fare collected more than 480. It means the total fare 60x plus 35 must be more than 480. Okay, this one you don't have to put the line bawah because they say more than, right? More than means the other line bawah. Okay, if you can kecilkan, you kecilkan, right? Kecilkan because 60, 30, 480, all these numbers can divide 30, right? So divide 30 is 2x, divide 30 is y, divide 30 is 16, right? So you end up with this as your answer. Okay, sudah siap. Now we can do part B. So part B says use a scale 2 cm to 2 on both axes. Construct and shape the region R that satisfy all the given constraints. Okay, so if we go to the graph paper, we can straight away do the axis. And remember, in this chapter, linear programming, everything is positive. So everything happens in the first quadrant. So you don't have to worry about the point being negative. No one, there's no negative. So just put it bawah sebelah kiri, and then here just put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. All right, and then here will be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and then stop here lah. So this is your Y, and then this your X. Okay. Okay. Actually, we can't draw the line first, right? We cannot draw the line now because we haven't find the point, right? If you want to draw graph, you need to make sure you have point first, right? So now let's go back to the soalan and do the, we have to do the find point first, right? So later we have to draw these 3 lines, right? But when we do that, we need points, right? We can't just simply draw, go to the graph paper like just simply draw the line. Cannot. You need to find out coordinate. You need to find the coordinate. So the first line is x plus y equals 14. And when the line have x and y, you have to find, you have to cari point lah. Buka bracket. Next line is x equals 3y. Same thing. Kalau ada x, ada y, buka bracket. And then kalau 2x plus y 16, same thing also, you have to put bracket. Okay, what if the equation tak ada x, y? Dia ada x saja. Contoh x equals number or y equals number. Okay, for those type of lines, you don't have to buka bracket. Those type of line, you don't have to cari point because those type of lines is like vertical. If it's y equals number, it's horizontal. If it's x equals number, it's vertical. Okay, that one is kalau you punya equation ada satu variable sajalah. Then you don't have to cari point because that one you just buat satu straight line saja. Tapi kalau dia ada x, ada y, ada x, ada y, ada x, ada y, then you kena cari point. Sebab dia line yang sengit. Dia line yang ada sengit punya. Dia gradient, like dia punya line ada gradient. That's why you need to do like that. Okay, now you sub x0, y0, x0, y0, x0, y0. Sebenarnya tak semestinya guna x0, y0. You can use any point you want, right? But we always use this because these points is very easy to plot. Because when you sub x0, y0, you are finding the x-intercept, y-intercept. So it's very easy to plot when it's on the y-axis and the x-axis. Okay, when x0, y is 14, when y0, x 14, right? So I think I can plot this later, right? Okay, let's do the next one. X0, what is your y? Your y will be 0 divided 3, right? Which is 0. Okay, if you sub y0, the x will get 0 also, right? So I will not use this. I will change to another point, right? So what other point I can use? Okay, I know my x-axis just now is like 2, 4, 6 until 14. And then here is like 2, 4, 6 until 20, right? So what point I can put inside the, okay, if you look at the equation, the x is already single. Yeah, the x sudah jadikan single already. So all you need to figure out is what y value I have to put in here. But don't put 20 lah. Because if you put 20, later 20 times 3, you get x equals 60. But your x-axis where got 60, bro? Don't do that. So what I recommend is you just put 4. Right? Why 4 is good? Because 4 times 3 is 12. And later your x-axis, you can find 12. Right? So this is a valid point. Right? It's a good point. 12, 4. Because you can plot. Right? You can put any value you want, but make sure the point you get is a point that is easy to plot. Right? So 12, 4 is an easy point to plot. Right? Okay, for the last one, x equals 0. 0 times 2 is 0. So this one hilang already. So your y is 16. So yeah, this point is also easy to plot 0, 16. Yeah. Okay, what about y0? Your x will be 16 divided 2, which is 8. Yeah, 8, 0 is also somewhere here. Yeah, you can plot. So now you can plot all these points in the line, in the graph paper. Okay, 0, 14, 14, 0, x plus y 14. Let's draw the line. 0, 14, 14, 0, x plus y 14. So this is 0, 14. This is 14, 0. And join the line. And when you join, you have to use solid line. Why solid line? Because the inequality uh have the line dekat bawah, right? So you use solid line, and don't forget to write the equation. The equation is very important, so I will write the equation down here. So x plus y equals 14. Okay, let me explain to you why use solid line. So when the inequality symbol have the line dekat bawah macam ni, then you have to use solid line. But this one later have to use dash line lah, because dia tak ada garis bawah kan. Okay, tak apa, let's do the next line first. 0, 0, 12, 4. This one also solid line because ada line bawah sini. So when you do solid line, you will join 0, 0 and 12, 4. But let's plot the point first. Where is 0, 0 and 12, 4? So 0, 0 dekat sini. So letak point sini. 12, 4 is dekat sini lah. 12, 4. Right? And it's also solid line. So just draw a solid line. Okay, done. Make sure you write the equation. X equals 3y. Okay, my last line, let's go back and see what's the coordinate. So it has to join 0, 16 and 8, 0. But this time it's a dash line because dia tak ada garis bawah sini. So 0, 16 join with 8, 0. But dash line, So 0, 16, which is here. Okay, 0, 16 and then 8, 0, right? So for 8, 0, it's here lah. Okay, but I have to use dash line, right? Okay, so you put your ruler and then draw a dash line. Okay. Okay, so let me draw a dash line now. So it will look something like this, 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 like this. But use ruler, don't be like me, So use ruler. Okay, so this is how it like looks like. So let me remove this. Okay, so like lebih kurang this is how it looks like. Okay, let's write the equation also. So what's the equation for this? 2x plus y equals 16, right? So now we are done with all the lines. Now it's time to shade. Yeah, now it's time to do the shading. Okay, when we do the shading, we have to look at this inequality. We have to look at the inequality. So if it's bigger, we will shade the kawasan atas. Okay, kalau dia bigger, kita ambil kawasan atas. Kalau smaller, ambil kawasan bawah. So, but we also have to make sure y positive baru boleh tengok. So, this one y sudah positive, so boleh terus tengok. Ini smaller lah. So, later we will take bawah garisan x plus y 14. So, let's go to the graph. Ambil bawah garisan x plus y 14. So, which one is garisan x plus y 14? This one. So, ambil bawah. So, it will be here, can be here, can be here, can be here. Bawah. It cannot be here one, not possible because I told you already, this one, the xy mesti positive one. Because the xy represents quantity. It represents number of trips. Mana boleh ada negative. Alright. Okay, next inequality. This one is smaller, right? But actually it's bigger. You know why? Because you have to make sure y positive and then tengok dari y. So if you tengok dari sini it's bigger, right? In other words, you should flip this over, becomes 3yx, and the symbol have to terbalik, becomes bigger like this. Because if you look carefully, this symbol is pointing to x. So if you terbalikkan these two, you have to point to x. That's why it's bigger. So it's very important. You have to tengok daripada, you have to make sure y positive dulu baru boleh tengok. Kalau dia bukan positive, then you have to terbalikkan the symbol lah. Or maybe like pindah to the other side and then tengok from the other side. So for this one, it's actually bigger because you tengok dari sini. So later kena ambil atas garisan. Atas garisan x equals 3y. So let's go and find x equals 3y and then take the atas punya region. So x equals 3y is this. So where is atas punya region? Definitely it's not this two lah. Because I told you it's this line atas ma. So it's either this or this, right? One of this. Okay, now we can look at the third inequality. And then we will know which one is the shaded region. So the third one, it says 2x plus y bigger 16. So y sudah positive. So boleh terus tengok lah. Bigger. So later have to take atas garisan. We have to take the region above this line. 2x plus y equals 16. So which line is 2x plus y 16? The dash line, the dotted line. And if you want to take atas garisan ni, definitely the shaded region is here lah. This one is the shaded region, right? Okay, now we already know the shaded region. Now we can erase the marking and shade the triangle lah. So this one is the shade region. So shade nicely. Make sure all lines look parallel. Make sure everything looks good. And I think that's it, right? Okay, let's read again the question and see whether I got leave out anything. So B, using a scale 2 cm to 2, construct and shade the region R that satisfy all given constraints. Okay lah, done already. But they got say write region R, right? Okay, just go there, go to the shade region and write a big R and done. That's all, right? Okay, I finished my part A, part B. Now it's time to do part C. Okay, part C, I'll do it here. Using the graph in 1B, find the range of number of Q. It means the range of Y lah, because Q is represented by Y, right? We use Y to represent. So they are asking to find range of Y if 8 trips are provided to island P. It means when X equals 8, it means the 8 is X. Because 8 is the trip to island P, right? So now how to find range of Y? Okay, first you need to find Y minimum, and then you have to find Y maximum, right? And then you have to write your Y in between, and then the minimum value later letak sini, the maximum letak sini, right? But first you need to get your minimum and maximum first. So how to get it? Go to the graph and go to x-axis cari 8 first. So go to graph x cari 8. So x equals 8 is here. And then now what you do is you do draw a dotted line until you reach the graph, right? Okay, when you reach the graph, then you will get your y minimum. Okay, so if you tengok sini, this is your y minimum. But if you baca this point, it's like 2.2, 2.4, 2.6. It's like in between 2.6 and 2.8, which is like lebih kurang 2.7, something like that, right? But it's very funny because this Y represents number of trip. So what do you think? Number of trip boleh jadi ni tak? Boleh jadi like point. Tak boleh, right? Dia mesti integer, right? So your minimum cannot take this. Habis tu nak ambil apa? Takkanlah ambil 2. Okay, if you ambil 2 cannot also. Because if you ambil 2, 2 is not inside the shaded region. So 2 is not the answer that we can accept. So what you have to choose is we have to choose 3 actually. Yeah, we have to choose 3. It means walaupun dia sudah, this is the first contact point, you have to naik sampai 3, which is inside the shaded region. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, which is here, right? So this is the answer we take. Okay, and the reason why I never stop at the contact point is because it's like decimal answer, and the number of 3 cannot have decimal. That's why I take 3 as the answer. Understand? And then for the maximum, you go until the last contact point with the shaded region. Okay, ini tak ada masalah. Ini boleh baca 6, right? So this is your minimum 3, this is your maximum 6. So remember, if the answer is decimal, you will take the answer that is near to the answer, but make sure it's inside the shaded region. Because if it's outside, then it does not satisfy, then you cannot take the answer. So it's 3 to 6, right? 3 to 6. So minimum is 3, maximum is 6, and then the range will be y in between 3 and 6. This is how you write the answer. Okay, now we are done. Now for part D lah. Okay, part D is here. I'll just do it here. Okay, let's read the question. On the same graph, draw an objective function and find the maximum profit obtained per day if the profit from island P is 30 ringgit each trip, island Q is 20 ringgit. So let's write down the total profit. So the total profit is what? Island P is 30, so 30x plus 20y, right? And how to write the objective function is you will write 30x plus 20y. You will write down the you can put any number here, but I always teach my student to put the lowest common multiple. It means you make sure the number you put here can divide 30 and and also can divide 20. Why? So that later when it's easy to find the point, because later you have to later you have to draw this line in the graph, right? So it's better to choose a common multiple. Lowest common multiple means gandaan sepunya terkecil. Means you pilih nombor yang boleh bahagi 30 and bahagi 20, right? So what number you would choose? Okay, 3 and 2, the common multiple is 60, right? Yeah, 60 can divide 30 and 20. And then now you can find points, and then later have to draw this line. So ganti x0, y0. Okay, when you letak x0, your y will be 60 divided 20, which is 3. When you ganti y0, your x will be 60 divided, which is 2, right? And actually 0320 is yeah, you can plot it. Yeah, 0320. Yeah. So later I will plot these 2 point and draw the line, and that line I have to how to say, that line will look something like this, and then later I have to slide this line until I reach the maximum, because they want the maximum, right? And later your answer will be at the vertices. It will be at the vertex, right? Okay, for now I will write down maximum total profit here, maximum profit, and the formula is 30x plus 20y, right? And later the xy I have to sub with the maximum point. Okay, but I still don't know yet because I haven't do yet. So let's draw the dotted line first. 0320. So let's plot the point. 03 is somewhere here, 20 is here, and you have to draw using dash line. Okay, and this line, what do we call it? What's the equation? 30x plus 20y equals 60, right? So write it down. Okay, now what we have to do next? We have to use two rulers, right? And we have to slide this line. Try to make sure you draw parallel line at, okay, the reason why you slide is because you want to draw parallel, you want to make it parallel, but you have to make sure it's at three vertex, right? So when you slide, it will reach here eventually, it will reach the first vertex, and then it will reach this vertex, it will reach this vertex. But which vertex is the answer? You will take the maximum lah. You take the maximum. It means you slide until the last vertex, right? And the method we slide is you need two ruler for this. So let me cakap sikit macam mana. First, you need to take your pembaris. I recommend you use the pembaris pendek, the 15 cm punya pembaris. You place it here. So it's like this line is stick to the ruler punya side, and then this side you can use a pembaris panjang, and then you will slide like this, and you slide slowly, and eventually the ruler will meet here, will meet the first vertex. But this is not the answer because they want maximum. So you keep sliding until it reach the second vertex, but it's still not the answer. You slide until the last bucu. So this is your answer, right? So let me erase all this. So let me erase all this. So now you already, so if you do the sliding, you will slide until here, and you will draw a parallel, this line you draw here will be parallel with this line here, right? And this is the coordinate that you take. But I told you already, x and y represents number of trips. So it cannot have integer one. It cannot be like, what is this? Like 10.5, like, so it cannot be 10.5, right? So you have to choose points that are near to this point, because you can't take this point, right? You can it has to be integer. So what point you can choose? This point, right? Or this point, or this point, or this point, right? But don't choose this because they are all outside the shaded region. So the only point that makes sense here is this point, and this point is 10.4. Okay, 10.4. But why not you choose 11.3? Why not you choose 11.3? Okay, 11.3 is also integer, but you can see it's outside the shaded region. That's why you cannot take, right? What about 10.3 then? Cannot also, because 10.3 is here, and it's not inside the shaded region. So you can choose a point that is near to this, but make sure it's like inside the shaded region. If it's outside, then it does not satisfy, you cannot take. Okay, you cannot take. All right. So this point you can take because it's solid line and if it's on the line means it's considered it means we can accept, right? So the point we end up using it will be 10 4. So that would be the maximum x and maximum y. And if you sub inside this formula, you will get the maximum total profit. So 30 times 10 plus 20 times 4, 380. And make sure you write RM because this one is profit, right? So that is the answer. Okay, sudah habis. Hope you understand. All right, let's do our last question, number 15. This one is obviously index number. The index punya chapter. Okay, table 15 shows the price index, percentage of 4 ingredient A, B, C, D used in baking a type of cake. So the A, B, C, D, this will be the keyword. Ataupun, yeah, this will be the keyword. It means these are all the separate ingredients and we use all these ingredients to bake cake, right? Okay, so this one we use to bake cake and then this is the price. So I will just write price for 21. This one is price for 23. This one is price index. So this is the I for 23 based on 21. Percentage is the weightage, right? This is the weightage. And total weightage will be 100 because it's percentage, right? 20 plus 30, 50, 50 plus 50, 100. Yeah, betul lah. Okay, now we can do A. So part A, they want to find value of PQR. Okay, the formula we use to find P is the I formula, right? The formula looks like this. I equals to P1 over P0 times 100, right? In this case, your I will be P, right? So erase P. And then what is your P1 and P0? Okay, the P1 will always be the price in the newer year, the latest year. So the latest year is 23, which is 9 ringgit. Okay, and then for this one, it will be 8, right? And then now you press calculator, you will get your answer for P. So what is 900 divide 8? Press calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 112.5. So that is the answer. But I would recommend writing no need to write RM. Price index, the other unit. So 112.5, right? Okay, now we can find Q. So when we find Q, we will only look at this, right? We'll only look at these three things. So how to find Q? Same formula. The I is 105 this time, but this time the price atas will be Q. Okay, because always put the price in latest year atas. And then the price in the older year, 3 letak bawah times 100. Okay, you can find Q now. 105 divide 100 is 1.05. 1.05 times 3, press calculator. 3.15. This one I recommend you write RM lah because it's a price. So RM 3.15. Okay. All right, next one, the last one is to find R. So I will only focus on baris ni because for R only. So the formula is I, which is 120, equals to price bahagi price times 100. The price atas will be 4.8, price bawah will be R times 100. Okay, always put the newer price. Okay, the price in the newer year will always be atas, right? Okay, how to pindah? 120 divided by 1.2 equals to 4.8 divided R. Okay, if you want to find R, you should pindah R ke atas like this. And then the 1.2 can move it back down, so it becomes 4.8 over 1.2. And if you press this, your calculator will give you 4. So just write RM4. Okay, 4.00 lah. Okay, so yeah, that is your answer for PQR. Okay, now done already. Now we can do my B. So B says what? Calculate the composite index for the cost of baking 23, 21. So use the composite index formula lah. Do you know what is the composite index formula? So the composite index formula, so write the year also, 23 over 21. So the composite index formula is you take the I times W, right? And then jumlahkan semua and then divide with the total of W, right? So the formula is sum of index times with weightage divide with the sum of total weightage. Okay, total weightage we know is 100, so just write 100 down here. But atas you have to take I times W. So the P here you already find just now is 112.5. So I times weightage, so it will be 112.5 times with 20 plus with the next one 105 times 30 and then plus with the next one 108 times 10 and then plus with the last one 120 times 40 and then now press calculator and then write the answer here lah. Okay, so let's press 112.5 times 20 plus 105 times 30 plus 108 times 10 plus 120 times 40. Okay, answer divide 100, 112.8. So this is the composite index. Composite index, the other unit one. So this is the answer. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now let's do C. C says what? The cost of baking the cake in the year 2021 was 43. Calculate the corresponding cost in year 2023. Okay, they never said cost for ingredient A, B, C, or D. They said cost of cake. It means later you have to take the composite index. And also you will use the first formula. Because in this chapter, there's only two formulas. First formula is take the price bahagi price times 100. This formula is used to find index, price index. The other formula is to find composite index, right? Okay, there's one more formula actually, which is the smiley face, but you only use this when involved 3 years, when you see 3 different years in the Swalan. So technically, there's only two formulas lah, because the third one is like, it's more like a method lah, it's not a formula. So this question C asks you to find cost. And can you tell me these two formula, which one got cost? This formula, only this formula can help you find price, right? This formula, how to find price. So you will use this formula. So I'll write down this formula now. I equals to P1 over P0 times 100, right? But can you tell me in this case, the price will be what? Okay, there's only 2 years here, 2021, 2023. So obviously the 23 would be atas lah, because that's the latest year. And then the older year, they want to have to touch ni. And automatic, your I will be 23 or 21 also. And what is 43 ringgit? That is 21. So just padam and write 43 here lah. And then the price 2023, this one I want to find. But if you want to find this, you need to have the index, right? And the index 23, 21, you don't tell me you go and letak 105 or 108, 120, 112. It cannot. If you put any of this, is wrong. The correct one is you have to put the 112.8. Okay, the reason I tell you just now already, because this question they never mention which ingredient. They mention cost of baking cake. It means you have to take the average. In other words, the composite index for everyone, the composite. Okay, but make sure the year is also 23, 21 lah. That is why I take 112.8. So now you can find the price 23. You will just press 112.8 divide 100 and then times 43. Okay, the answer is 48.50. Actually, it's 504, but since this is price, there can only be two decimal place. So just 48 ringgit 50 cents. And I recommend you write the RM also, because it's cost, right? Okay, sudah siap. Okay, I will do my D here. So this is the last question. The cost of all ingredients expected to increase 10% from year 23 to 25. It means your composite index for 25, 23 will be 110, because they say all ingredients. So it means the average, the composite index for the, like, for everyone is 110 because increase 10%, right? Okay, comma. What's the next line? What the next line says? Calculate the composite index for the cost in year 25 based on 21. So they want composite index for 25 based on 21, right? Okay, you can see that there's 3 different years in one question. You see 2023, 2025, 2021. So when there's 3 years, we should use the smiley face method to solve it, right? And the formula, this one is A, B, C, and the formula looks like this. C equals A times B divided 100. Okay, and what is ABC? ABC can represent, it can be price index, it can be composite index. Okay, depending on what the question wants. For these questions, this case, you will use the ABC to write the composite index, because you're trying to find composite index, right? So what I will do now is I will draw a smiley face and I will put the year here. Start with the oldest year. So the oldest year is 2021, followed by 23, followed by 25. Okay, the 110 is 25 based on 23. So the 110, I'll write it here. 25, 21 is question mark. So this is the one I need to find. This is question mark. This is the one. This is the final answer. So in order to find this, I need this. And what do you think for this? What do you think I have to write here? Obviously, the composite index for 23, 21 lah, because this one and this one represent composite index already. So automatic, this also have to write composite index. And you have already. 23, 21 composite index is 112.8. So now you can find the answer easily. How to find the composite index for 25, 23, 25, 21, just take 112.8 times 110 divide 100, because that's how the formula works. To get the C, you take A times B divided 100. So to get the C, this down one, you just take atas darab atas bahagi 100. So now you just press calculator, then you get your answer. 112.8 times 1.1. Okay, my calculator give me 124.08. So this is the final answer for D, right? Okay, I think that's all. This is the last answer. Okay, that's all. Okay, kertas pemeriksa tamat. So if you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to my channel lah. All right. So I'll see you next video. Okay. Bye bye.